We're back with Umineko, here with Willard again. Oh, she appeared
この
here.
姿は貸してあげるわ。私バカは嫌いだから仮の名としてクレルと名乗りなさい。それともベアとがいい？
Oh,
感謝します。みすぼらしい姿を晒さずに済みます。
Berkastel had given Claire a fake form. It was a temporary form for the person acting as part of Beatrice. A fake to fool those who hadn't still discovered Beatrice's true form.
それが異なる世界の私の物語なのですか？
I guess we already discovered who the real Beato was, right? It was basically a troubled child with a lot of personalities to give, I guess, and lots of love to give, I guess.
リオン、これが異なる世界のあなたにして我の物語。私が人間としてでなく魔女として生きる世界の物語。私も自分の人生にもしも想像することはあります。しかしあなたの話す物語は私の想像を超えすぎている。
それでももう一人のお前のたどった人生だ。
だからって容易に受け入れられるものではありません。
Leon suddenly yelled and looked at the floor. Leon already knew. Because of the fragments lent by Bernkastel, Leon knew. It was a different world where Leon lived as the Golden Witch Beatrice. And in this world eventually, on the day of the 1986 October Family Conference, she would be the ringleader of a terrible crime.
いくら異なる世界とはいえ、私が家族や親族を、使用人の人たちみんなを巻き込んで恐ろしい事件の首謀者になる。それに私はどう向き合えばいいというのです。
黙って聞いて、静かに理解しろ。
別の人生では私が使用人をしていて、かと思えばいつの間にか魔女になっていて、そしてやがては恐ろしい殺人事件を何度も繰り返す。それをどう理解しろと言うんです。
ああ、そうだろうな。誰にも理解はできねえだろうよ。こいつももはや誰にも理解してもらえるとは思ってねえ。だからお前なんだ。だからベルンカステルはお前とこいつ出会うはずのない自分同士をこうして出会わせたんだ。
Again, Will is making an illusion that he's not gendering Beatrice or Claire right now. So yeah, I think that the culprit is like a gender fluid. I think maybe, I don't know. Like sometimes Canon, sometimes Shannon, sometimes Beatrice. Yeah, kind of like that, I guess.
別に深い意味はないわ。単なる気まぐれよ。
誰にも理解できない動機だから、リオン。せめてお前だけは理解しろ。この物語の主役は俺じゃない。お前だ。俺は、お前の理解を助けるための介助役に過ぎね。
The detective.
犯人の動機を理解したと言いましたね。
ああ。
それは、私が家族を、みんなを殺すに足る納得できる動機なんですか？
さあな。それを考えるのは自分だ。俺が納得しても、お前が納得するわけじゃねえ。お前の納得は、お前がするんだ。
私には、何が何だか本当にわからないんです。ベアトリーチェが起こしたという、いくつものゲーム版という名の事件を見ました。そして今、もう一人の私が語る、異なる人生についても聞いています。でも、全然それと事件がつながらない。理解ができない。私も、この時、やがてそのような恐ろしい事件を引き起こすことになるなど、想像することもできませんでした。いえ、
仮に想像し得たとしても、私にあのような事件を起こす力はありませんでした。
だろうな。お前の不幸は多分碑文の謎を解いたことだろうな。
Yeah, she found the gold. Yeah, or they found the gold, I guess.
おじいさまが出題したという隠し黄金の碑文ですか？
事件ごとに異なる共犯者を得るシステム。導き出される推理は、犯人が莫大な金を持っていたという可能性、そして全てを黄金鏡に招き、全ての恋を成就させるもう一つのシステム。
動機だけでなく、そこまでをお察しでしたか？
それこそが第4のゲームの最後の謎の答えだ。
Who kills Battler?
お前の最大の不幸は碑文を解き。
Because Battler didn't survive, right? That's the whole point. But by that point, there was only Battler and Beato there, and he killed Beato. Then again, who killed? Yeah, I guess, was that? I think it was, right? Yeah, that
本
was.
当の意味で黄金の魔女として復活し、その魔力を得てしまったことだ。
今となっては、あれはやはり不幸なことだったのでしょうか。わかりません。しかし、1986年にバトラさんが帰ってくるという事実が変わらぬ限り、何かの悲劇は起こったでしょう。
So basically, Battler's the cause of it all. Oh no.
バトラが帰ってくるのが1年早いか遅いかだったら、事件は起こらなかったかもしれねえ。
No, some small incident probably would have occurred, and it would have surely have been a mysterious, impossible incident, which no one could have explained. But even so, compared to the Rokkenjima serial murders, it would have been a tiny thing.
バトラ君が1年早いか遅いかだったらとは。
He probably wouldn't have died. I still think all the other family members would have died, but he probably would have not left Angie alone, right? Yeah.
運命とは本当に皮肉なものですね。私に魔女の人生を歩ませ、碑文を解くことで本当の魔女となり、そして6年を経て彼の帰りを知る。
It's because she started to love George or Jessica, right? George as Shannon and Jessica as Cannon. And then when Battler came back, she didn't know what to think, basically. I guess she went crazy because of it.
それらすべてが運命ならば、これは私にとって必然であり、逃れられなかった事件なのです。
バトラは1980年、母アスムの死と父ルドルフの早すぎる再婚に憤慨して後ろ宮家を飛び出した。
Oh, yeah, I was almost forgetting how. Yeah, Battler left, right? He didn't return to Rokkenjima for 6 years. But he was how old was he when he left? Guess he wasn't that old, right? Because was it before? I think was it before Angie was born or after? I don't remember.
そして6年間後ろ宮家を離れた。
He convinced his grandparents on his mother's side to help him and went by his mother's maiden name. Then, when those grandparents passed away, he finally made up with Rudolph and returned to the Rishomia family again in 1986. Oh, he couldn't become independent. Oh, that's why. If he had like a job or something, maybe he wouldn't have returned to Rudolph. Maybe, I don't know. It's kind of shitty because Rudolph was like cheating, right? He was cheating with Kyrie. Again, where did the red hair come from? Because it it was then Asuma, right? Because of the red hair, I think, maybe. We don't see her.
その不運がお前に事件の動機を生む。
思いました。どうして6年も経て今さら帰ってくるのかと。
Because he probably had no job and no way to sustain himself when reaching adulthood. It's, yeah, like 17-year-old, 18-year-old without a job, basically. Still needs his parents or some form of help to survive.
そうだな。
And then maybe Rudolph forced him to go to the meeting.
いっそ永遠に帰ってこない方がお前には良かったのかもしれない。
もちろん苦しみは続いていたでしょう。しかし大量殺人という許されざる犯罪に手を染めずには済んだかもしれません。
Because he didn't fulfill the
バトラー君が
promise.
後ろ宮家を去り、それがどんな動機になるというんですか？
I see. He left and didn't come back to Rokkenjima for 6 years, so he left Shannon hanging. Shannon, she basically stood up Shannon with their promise. Then she gave up on Battler for a while, then tried to love someone else like George or Jessica through canon, and I think they weren't like suitable replacements, I guess. And then when Battler comes back, then everything is thrown out the window. And then even with George proposing to her, she still commits the murders.
逆だな。
逆？
バトラーが去ったから事件が起こるんじゃない。バトラーが帰ってきたから事件が起こるんだ。
Because she was forgetting about him, but then he returns and all those old feelings come back.
こうして考えれば考えるほどに後ろ宮パトラ、なんと憎らしい男か。何より憎らしいのは彼は自分のせいで事件が起こることに最後まで何の自覚もなかったこと。
The riz was too strong. Had to pause for a second to get some dinner. So I guess the problem here is that Battler was kind of young when he said all those things. We can't fault him for just saying the wildest shit when he was like 12 or something. Saying like he's everything to blame, and yeah, people forget shit, right? I guess for Shannon, she didn't forget, but come on. I don't think Battler knew how bad your situation was. Yeah. For him, it was like a summer love. Then he arrives and he sees that Shannon is more interested in George this time, and man, yeah, I loved her, but yeah, my bro here, he's more well put together than I am right now. I guess he'll make her happy. So to think that, yeah, I can't fault Battler for that. Yeah, he runs away because yeah, shit happens. And your dad betrayed your mom even when she was dying. He was cheating on her. Then you run away. You might feel bad about Shannon for a while, but yeah, they were 12 years old. It was like a summer love or type deal. Then you come back to get together with your cousins, and then you see that yeah, Shannon has grown up beautifully, and she's already in love with George this time. Yeah, you can't blame it all on Battler, I don't think. It's so bad that you blame it all on
最後
Battler.
には思い出した。
I think he already knew from the start, right? He already knew. I don't think he forgot the promise. But he didn't have any means to do so, and then he left. Then Georges are more well put together man than he is, has a job, can make Shannon happy, happier than him. So yeah, I do. You can't blame Battler for all of this.
ただし、お前が諦めて消えたより、ずっと後のことだがな。
それが本当なら、私の心も少しは救われるのですが。
私には未だにあなたたちが何の話をしているのかわかりません。ですが逃げずに聞こうと思います。知ろうと思います。一体あなたに何があって事件を決意するというのですか？
Probably the siblings and Kingzo.
そうだ。それが一番大事なんだ。後ろ宮バトラが推理小説に対し、ホワイダニットを尊んだように。
She could have continuously committed the pranks and be respected that way. But she didn't do so.
黄金の魔女の物語もゲームも謎もすべて。
She upped the empty.
では、引き続き語りましょう。1980、私が事件を決意する。6年前から。第6章、試される日。
Days of trial. 6 years until the crime. Oh man.
バトラ様が後ろ宮家の席を出られた？
Yep, here
旦那
comes.
様とルドルフ様がそう話してるのよ。もうびっくり。
お前の人生にも私は何も文句を言うつもりはない。しかし親父殿はカンカンだよ。感動ならまだしもこの方から愛想を尽かして席を出ていくなど聞いたこともない。
誰に似たんだか。バトラのやつめ、妙に頑固でな。
バトラ君の気持ちがわからないのであれば、父親としての資格を疑われるかと思いますよ。
よしたまえ。キリエさんの子供をしっかり育てたいという責任をルドルフなりに示したということだ。
Oh, this is bad. Oh, I just realized.
それが来年だったなら何も言うことはありません。しかし、どうして今年なのですか？桃開けないうちから。解任の時期を考えると、ルドルフさんを見下さざるを得ません。
まあそういじめないでくれ。これが俺なりのけじめの取り方なんだ。
バトラ君が亡くなられたアスムさんに代わってあなたに抗議されている気持ち、本当によくわかります。もしここにいたなら一緒に肩を抱いて泣いてあげたい気持ちですよ。
Not few words were sharp. They pierced Rudolph mercilessly. Rudolph had no retort. His relationship with Kyrie had been adulterous, plain and simple. According to Rudolph, he had been close to Kyrie longer than Asumu. And even after his marriage to Asumu, the relationship had not disappeared.
なんだよそれ。このクソ親父。じゃあつまりあんたはずっと母さんを裏切ってたわけじゃねえかよ。そりゃ俺だってキリエ様知ってるさ。あんたのビジネスパートナーでいつも事業の相談に乗ってくれる頼れる友人だって聞かされてたさ。それが男女の仲だったなんて今さら言われたって知ったことかよ。母さんが死んだ後なら勝ってさ。俺だってあんたの人生だ。好きにしろと言ってるさ。でもな、キリエさんの解任はいつだよ。
Oh, so it was. Oh,
まだ
I
母さんは生きてる
realized.
じゃないか。
I fucking realized it.
ああ、やっとわかったぜ。なんで俺はあんたにこんなにも吐き気を感じるのかってな。あんた、母さんがここで死んでくれて嬉しかったの。そうなんだろう。もし母さんが生きてたら、不倫のことや子供のことでどう隠すかで苦労が絶えなかったろうからな。都合よく母さんが死んでくれたから、キリエさんと結婚して新しい子を俺の弟か妹になんてよく言えたもんだぜ。母さんが天国で泣いてる。恥を知れ、恥を知れよ。俺は恥ずかしいぜ。あんたと同じ後宮の姓を名乗ることが恥ずかしくて仕方ねえ。生まれてくる子に罪はねえさ。両親が揃ってなきゃかわいそうだ。せいぜい新しい家族を育んで幸せに育ててやれよ。だがな、俺は許さねえからな。だって母さんはもう憎むこともできる。だから俺が母さんに代わってあんたを憎む。全身全霊をかけてな。あばよ、クソ親父。
Oh, that got a sting.
もう十分だろう、夏日。ルドルフは決してバトラ君に愛情を失ったわけではない。長い時間をかけるだろうが、親子の絆を取り戻したいと願っている。
父親として当然です。赤の他人ならいざ知れず。自分の血を分けた子供ならばそれが当然の責務です。
いいさ、とことん俺を蔑んでくれ。反論はしねえ。それが俺のけじめのつけ方だ。
せめて生まれてくる子だけは幸せにしたまえ。
生まれてくる子もバトラも俺の子だ。
アスムさんが亡くなり、キリエさんと籍を入れられるのは、バトラ君には苦々しいだろうが、生まれてくる子にとって最善だ。私はお前を理解するよ。
バトラ君がアスムさんが亡くなって嬉しかっただろうとあなたをなじった気持ちがよくわかります。
もうよせ、夏日。すでにルドルフはなじるべき人間から十分にそれを受けている。それより紅茶をもらえんかね。厨房の誰かに紅茶を頼んできてくれんかね。
わかりました。
Natsuki took his as a signal to leave the room, and did so. Once she left, Cross relaxed slightly.
アスムさんは気の毒だったが、生まれてくる子を考えれば、これは偶然のタイミングだったかもしれんね。
まるでアスムがそれを知って自分から舞台を降りたかのようだ。俺がアスムを殺したのか。
Oh, he's crying.
だとしたら俺はいつから殺してたんだろうな。
アスムさんを大事に思う気持ちがまだあるなら、何年かけてでもバトラ君と復縁したまえ。
ああ、分かってる。
そしてキリエさんと生まれてくる子にも等しい愛情を注ぎなさい。アスムさんの十字架を背負いながらね。
Cross is actually being quite the good sibling here, surprisingly.
もし地獄にもリザーブってやつがあるんなら、特上の席を俺に一つ取っておいてほしいもんだぜ。
Third game. The news that Battler had abandoned the Ushumia name swept across the family.
バトラさんもお気の毒に、いつかきっと仲直りをしてくれると信じていますけど。
I wonder what Kinzo thinks about this. What was his relationship with before he went completely off rocker?
親族の方々の都合だ。使用人の知るところではない。それよりも新しく白宮家に加わられるキリエ様のお顔を早く覚えねばならんな。
それもそうですね。今年の親族会議にはいらっしゃるんですからね。
If the person who just joined the Ushumia family would be coming to the conference, And what about the person who just left the family? I'm remembering the fourth game. Wasn't it then where Jessica confronted Kyrie, and then Kyrie just like went on the absolutely insane talking rampage about Asumu?
ならバトラは来ないってことじゃない？
そう考えるのが妥当であろうな。賑やかな男が一人かけ、なんとも寂しいものよ。
Most people felt a bit lonely to see Battler leave the Ushirimiya family. They didn't think any more about it than that. However, what about Shannon? Wasn't Battler supposed to come for her on a white horse? I was surprised at first. I thought that since he had left the family, he might not be coming to this island anymore. If you consider Battler's son's feelings, this is only natural, I guess. I understand painfully well why he wanted to leave the family. But does that really mean he won't come to Rokkenjima anymore? What on earth is going on? Will he really never return? Unable to ask him directly, I was forced to live each day fretfully. Battler, son, I understand how you feel, but to say that you'll never return because you've abandoned your family, that's a lie, right? I was so confused that the world seemed to be spinning around me. I had a tight feeling on my chest and couldn't think about anything. When I happened to touch my cheek, I was surprised to find it hot and wet. While wearing a truly miserable expression on my face, I was crying.
Shannon.
From far away, I could hear someone calling to me, but it was a very strange sort of distance. Though it felt very far away, the voice also seemed to be coming from right beside me.
Shannon, そなたの胸中察するぞ。
大丈夫よ。あくまでも親子喧嘩。そして噂話には尾ひれがつくものよ。きっと大げさに伝わってるだけだわ。
そうとも、もう二度とバトラがこの島に来ないと決まったわけではない。気を強く持つのだ。
Where is this place? I seem to remember it somehow. I think it reminds me of a scenery from a strange dream I once had. And this must be another dream. I was there, under an arbor surrounded by a golden rose garden, and two witches in white and red dresses were showering words of encouragement upon me.
噂好きの若い使用人たちが話を好き勝手に膨らませているに違いないぞ。席を抜けたなどと大げさな。きっとただの親子喧嘩に違いないぞ。
ありがとう。そうだといいのですが。
そうに決まってるわ。男の子だもの。父親と喧嘩の一つくらいするわ。
そうともそうとも、すぐに頭を冷やして仲直りするに決まっているではないか。
男の喧嘩なんて火付きは良くてもすぐ燃え尽きちゃうものよ。
それに比べ女の喧嘩は炎こそ上がらぬが、いつまでも火種が残るものよ。男の喧嘩など激しくとも一時すがすがしいものよ。
そうですね。バトラさんとルドルフ様、早く仲直りするといいですね。
するとも、バトラはいつも言っていたであろうが、よく父親と喧嘩をすると。今回もそれらのうちの一つと変わらぬ。母親の死と父親の再婚で動揺したに過ぎぬわ。
祖父母の家へ行ってしまったそうだけど、どうせ 2,3 日も頭を冷やせば元の鞘に収まるわ。ほらあれよ、プチ家出ってやつね。
The two witches kept saying that Battler's fight hadn't been anything huge. If it had been a mere family quarrel, rumors wouldn't have started in the first place. Taking an optimistic view here isn't likely to prove useful.
いずれにせよだ、これは。バトラ親子の問題。放っておけば時間が解決してくれる。そなたが気に病んでも仕方がなきことよ。
今日バトラが来なかったからといって、これからも来ないと決めつけるのは早計だわ。今日はルドルフが一人でやってきただけの話。
そうとも、 また次の親族会議では元気な姿を見せてくれるに決まっている。おそらくはそのうちキリエとやらを連れてやってくるであろう。その時にはふてくされながらも一緒に来てくれるに決まっている。
そうですね。うん。きっと、そうですよね。
How nice would it be if they were right? In fact, if I could, I'd like to flip through the calendar until autumn right now and check to see whether he does come to the next conference. If he does, then all my fears are groundless. It would mean the rumor-mongering family members and servants have just blown things out of proportion. If Battleson was right here, I'd want to question him right away. Hey, isn't it true that you'll never come to Rokkenjima again, right? And then if he said that of course he would come again, it would be such a relief. I don't know the phone number for Rudolf Hama's house. I could probably look it up if I tried. However, as a servant of the family, I have no excuse for making such a call. In any way, I have no way of knowing the phone number for Battler's grandparents' house. I can't do anything except to wait for Rudolf Sama's family to come and visit and hope that my fears are groundless. However, will I be able to make it through the day feeling like this? No way. I doubt I'll be able to sleep a wink tonight. Just waiting around feeling like this when I don't know when my next chance will come. I can't do that. Will it be next month or the month after? The worst case, I might have to wait until the next family conference. And I have to wait that long while holding back this suffocating feeling. Can't bear it.
ねえ、シャノン、唐突に尋ねるけれど、あなたがした1年後までの決意というのは、この島の使用人を辞めることを決めるだけの決意じゃないでしょう？
I made a decision to start a new life. I didn't want to keep being a servant by force of habit. I made the decision to step into a new life and to leave my old life as a servant behind.
そして、その決意の日に迎えに来ると、バトラは約束してくれたんじゃなかった？
それは、はい。
わらわは言葉を選ばぬから言おう。それはつまり、バトラと共に、新しい人生を踏み出そうという決意ではないのか。
バトラさんと新しい人生。
そなたは決意の日にバトラが迎えに来てくれないかもしれないと恐れている。しかし決意の日はバトラが迎えに来てくれることだけを意味するのではないぞ。
あなたがバトラとこれからの人生を共に歩む決意を示す日でもあるのよ。
その決意はそなたが自らするものだ。バトラがただ来てくれるだけで成し得るものではないぞ。
シャノン、あなたにはもうこれからの人生を彼と歩む決意はあるの？それがまだないから次の親族会議の日に決心するなんて言ったんでしょ？
バトラと人生を共に歩むとはどういうことなのか。そなたは真剣に考えたことはあるのか？
それは
As long as I'm working as servant on Rokkenjima, my opportunities for meeting him are limited. We're both underage, so it's too early to talk about marriage. However, if I quit working as a servant, I should have many opportunities to meet him. Once I quit working here, I will return to the gospel house. I'll have my wages from the servant family, so I should be able more than enough to travel to Battler's son's house to play. When I graduate from school, I can rent an apartment near Battler's son's house. And well, I can work while going to school. Life would be more difficult than I first thought. However, I'd be able to see Battler's son much more often. Not every day, then every week. I won't be a servant anymore, so there won't be any difference in class. I can call him whenever I want. I'm already doing both school and work. Thanks to my experience here, I know more than enough to do simple housework.
楽しそうな人生ではないか。ささやかな住まいを借りて自分の城を築けたなら、ぜひバトラを招待するがよい。
そうして新しい二人の時間、二人の世界が始まっていくのね。素敵じゃない。
はい、ちょっと 素敵ですよね。
This was the first time I had ever imagined that future clearly. My love for him and my honest desire to live my life with him. Earlier, I was able to consider both of these deeply. However, now that I'm clearly imagining the future I plan to choose, I finally understand. I must be aware of how much determination will be needed to reach that future.
やがては結婚だって夢見ちゃってるわけでしょ。
ほうほう、結婚前提とは最近の小娘は進んでおるわ。
そこまでは
夢を否定しないで、未来を見据えぬ。目を閉じたままの第一歩に何の意味もないんだから。
惚れた男なら結婚しちゃったりしてと夢見ても何の罪もないぞ。それが乙女の特権であるわ。
My face turned bright red. Earlier, I thought that considering marriage really was a bit premature, so I tried as best I could not to think about it. However, when the witches encouraged me to imagine it, the image was both exciting and vivid. I felt an indescribable feeling of refreshment and awakening, like the gentle breeze that washes over you when you go outside during a brief spot of sunshine on a rainy day. That's right, I didn't actually have the determination to go that far. I need to strengthen my determination by the time the next family conference comes around. If I can't do that, then stinking around as a servant on this island is no more than I deserve.
そしてそれは同時に試練でもあるのよ。
確かに、これは試練であるな。
試練？どうしてですか？
愚か者め、バトラーは次の親族会議に迎えに来るとそなたに約束したではないか。
白馬にまたがって迎えに来るってね。
はい。
そなたはバトラがもう来ないと思っている。つまりそれはバトラの約束を信じないということではないのか？
だからこれは試練なのよ。彼を信じて待つという。
Oh no.
試練。
This is so terrible. I hadn't thought of it that way. Since he promised to come for me in a year, then I need to believe that he will come for me in a year. If I doubt that, I don't have the right to wait for him in the first place.
バトラが後ろ宮家を抜けたのだって、そなたとの未来を見据えてのことなのかもしれぬぞ。
God, she's self-deluding herself so hard. She's deluding herself so hard.
二人で暮らし、将来婚姻のちぎりを交わすことまで見通したなら、後ろ宮家の使用人であるシャノンと結ばれるには、後ろ宮の姓が邪魔をすることもあるかもしれぬ。
ああ、使用人の娘と結ばれるなんてギャンギャンって言われることを見越して、先に後ろ宮の姓を捨てたってわけね。
Girl, she's putting too much faith into Butler.
そうだ、シャノン。これならば全てに筋は通るというもの。バトラが後ろ宮の名を捨てたのは、そなたを考えてのことよ。ルドルフとの唐突な親子喧嘩は、それをもっともらしくする口実に違いあるまい。
Oh no, now you're ignoring his feelings on the matter.
素敵な推理だわ。
Oh no, you're just completely bulldozing over Battler's feelings about the situation.
さすがリーチェ。
どうだシャノン、落ち込むには値しないではないか。それどころかそなたと結ばれるためにバトラが先に決意を見せたようなものではないか。
A smile had finally returned to my face. Of course, I hadn't taken the witches seriously and let myself be reassured. It was closer to the opposite. It was almost funny they could think up such ridiculously convenient explanations for everything. However, they made all sorts of those ridiculous theories to cheer me up. Witches are right when they say that I must trust Battler, and that there's no point in moping around about just because I've heard a few rumors. Until the next family conference, I intend to strengthen my resolve, and I believe he will accept my feelings and come for me. The idea that Battler left the family so that he could be married to me someday was laughable, of course. But right now, I should try and feel confident enough to accept even crazy ideas like that.
ありがとうございます。なんだか 少し気分が楽になりました。
ならばよかった。そなたが悲しみで枕を濡らすのを見るのは耐えられんのでな。
私の夢の中にまでやってきて励ましてくれて本当にありがとう。
うん。もうじき朝になる。すべては夢。そなたは目覚めれば何も覚えてはいまい。しかしそなたの心に静寂は戻る。
はい、私は彼を信じて待つ。だから小さな噂話になんか耳を貸さないんです。
そうだ、次の親族会議まで自分を磨きながら待つのだ。花嫁修行と思えば日々のつまらぬ雑事も彩りを帯びよう。
本当にありがとう。
リーチェ、もう朝になるわ。
そうか、それではさらばだ。シャノン、そなたはわらわを覚えてはいまい。しかしわらわはいつもそなたのそばにいてそなたを見守っているぞ。
ありがとう、ありがとう。
Now the resentment starts to grow.
次の親族会議など瞬く間よ。のんびりと待つがよい。必ずバトラは約束を守るのだから。
It's time for the resentment to start to grow. I'm dreading this so bad. No battler.
キリエと申します。よろしくお願いいたします。
名前だけならアスムさんより前から知ってるわ。ルドルフの昔からのガールフレンドってね。
ええ、ご縁は随分になりますので。
後宮家へようこそ。当家に早く馴染まれることを期待します。
はい、私も早く慣れて夫をサポートできるようになろうと思います。
それにしても可愛いお嬢ちゃんや。名前はなんて言うんや？
エンジェちゃんですって。可愛らしい名前ね。
やはり仲直りはできなかったのかね。
よりを戻すならこの機会と思ったんだがな。親父に似て頑固なやつでな。
もうバトラ君は帰ってこないの？寂しくなるわ。
男には家を飛び出す気概くらいあってもいいもんや。そういう男はな、きっとビッグになって帰ってくるで。
そう？バトラ君にとってもう今のお家はお家じゃないもの。帰る場所はもはやそこじゃないわ。
よしたまえ、ルドルフの家の都合だ。私たちが詮索することではない。
ありがとう、クラウス兄さん。それは私たち家族の問題です。でもバトラ君がルドルフさんと一緒に暮らせる日が来るよう私も努力をするつもりです。だってエンジェのたった一人のお兄ちゃんなんですから。
ああ、バトラめ、意固地になっちまってて今は何を言っても逆効果だ。アスムのお父さんがちょっと短気な人でな、焚きつけちまってるみたいでな。
大丈夫よ、きっと遠くないうちにルドルフさんの気持ちを理解してくれるわよ。
わしらには応援しかできん。仮に帰ってこないにしてもはよう仲直りできるのを祈っとるで。
バトラが来ないとなんだかつまらねえぜ。
そうだね、早くルドルフおじさんと仲直りしてくれればいいのに。
バトラ様の気持ちを考えると辛いです。
急に家族が変わっちまったようなもんだしな。家が居心地悪いってのもあるだろうぜ。
男にはいつか独り立ちしなければならない日もある。バトラ君にとってはもうそれが訪れたという話なのかもしれないよ。
そうなのですか？
そうさ、男がいつまでも両親のもとでぬくぬくしていたらかっこ悪いよ。荒々しく巣を飛び出して一旗あげなくちゃいけない。僕もやがてはと思ってたけど彼に先を越されてしまったよ。
一旗あげて立派になったら帰ってきてくれるのでしょうか？
ひょっとしたら もう帰ってこないこともあるかもしれないね。だってこれは彼にとって巣立ちなのかもしれないのだから。
巣立ち。
バトラ来なかったわね。
ああ、なんということだ。わらわはシャノンにきっと来るからと何度も言ってしまったぞ。きっとシャノンはバトラが来なくて深く落ち込んでいるに違いない。わらわがいい加減なことを言って希望を持たせてしまったから。
親族会議の今日張り合いに生きてきたようなもんだしね。彼女の気持ちを考えると心が痛むわ。
ありがとうございます。私は大丈夫です。
I had been reunited with the witches once again in the dream world. Though I could not remember anything during the day, now that I was in the dream world, I somehow knew that this was a reunion. The witches both looked apologetic. Though they have tried to cheer me up by saying that battle will come today, now that he hadn't come, it was likely they'd been lying, and they seemed to regret it heavily.
シャノン、まあ、
お気遣いをありがとうございます。悲しくなんかないと言えばもちろん嘘になりますけれど、私は大丈夫ですから。
そうか？そうなのか？ならば良いのだが。
バトラのやつ派手に喧嘩したもんだから、きっと引っ込みがつかなくなっちゃっただけに決まってるわ。
Don't try it, Gob. Don't try it.
意地っ張りだもの。
そうであるとも。威勢のいいこと言って飛び出したものだから、今さら引っ込みがつかなくなって意地になってしまっただけに違いあるまい。きっと来ればよかったと後悔しているはずだ。そうであるとも。
For some reason, they seemed to be desperate in their attempts to encourage me. It was almost funny to watch. I couldn't help but giggle.
本当にありがとうございます。だって言ったのは皆さんじゃないですか。これは試練だって。
The truth was, I couldn't really fool myself so easily. When will he come back? When will he come for me? When isn't the question. Will he come for me ever? If I start moping right now, the uncertainty and sadness will probably tear me apart. But they thought me. This is a trial to see whether I really believe in him or not. The very fact that I feel uncertain and anxious is a betrayal of my resolve and his promise to come for me someday. Oh, so he comes back and she feels, and I see. So she feels like she betrayed his trust or the trial that she puts for herself by loving both George and Jessica instead. So she feels like she betrayed the trial she puts forth. And then, yeah.
ジョージ様が言ってました。これはバトラさんの巣立ちかもしれないって。
そうよ。これは後ろ宮の姓を抜け出て一人の男として羽ばたくという巣立ちなんだわ。
Bro, he's like 13 at this point.
よくよく考えれば私たちはまだ若いんですし、本当に結ばれようと思ったらまだまだ社会的経験も信用も何より年齢が足りません。バトラさんが本当に真剣に考えてくださったならばこそまだ迎えに来られるわけがないんです。
見事であるぞ。そうだ、その域であるぞ。よくぞその境地に達した。
達せてなんかいません。でも今はそう思うことにします。それが試練でバトラさんを信じるということなんですから。
If he had come today, then today I would have to tell Madame that I wanted to quit my job as a servant. However, was I really prepared to do that? Last night I kept worrying about whether Battler's son would come or not. Thanks to that, not only did I not have the resolve to quit my job, I hadn't even started on the paperwork to do so. In short, I still don't have the determination that I promised him that day. I'm sure that God knew that. Battler would come for me when I found my determination. I wasn't determined, so it's only natural that he didn't come today. Yeah, it all makes sense now.
だからきっとバトラさんがいらっしゃらなかったのは私の決意がまだだったからです。彼が来てくれるかをしっかりと信じることもできなかった私ではそれも当然ですね。
おそらくバトラもそうであったに違いないぞ。そなたを迎えに行くだけの決意や覚悟がまだまだ足りなかったに違いない。
神様は薄情じゃないわ。二人の気持ちが本当に近づいた時必ず二人を引き合わせてくれるわ。
織姫と彦星のようにな。
今年の七夕はたまたま天気が悪かった。今日のことはその程度に思おうと思います。
That's how I like to think about it. I have no other choice. Battler. Oh, it hurts. It hurts so bad.
でもバトラ君が帰ってくるのは
6年後の話だ。だいぶ先の話になる。
このままこんな辛い気持ちのまま6年も待ち続けるというのですか。
来年こそはと毎年待ちわびるのはそれはもう永遠に待ち続けるにも等しいものでした。
痛々しい話ね。あなたがしたと思ってる約束を当のバトラは全く意識していなかったようだし。
バトラ君はルドルフおじさんに似てキザな言い回しを好むこともありました。そんな言い回しが誤解を与えたのかも。
バトラはきっといつか後ろから女に刺されるわね。
Already did.
まあつまりこれはそういう物語なわけかしら。
言葉は意味が宿れば人の人生を左右することだってある。
Yeah, Battler's Riz was too good for his own good.
軽率な言葉は人を殺せるかもしれねえ。
第7章恋の目恋の根。
Oh, here it comes. The replacement theory. Okay. Okay, no politics here. God, I hate that so much. Not politics, just like bigoted people, I guess.
ですよね。
Okay, enough.
男ってどうして群れるとバカばっかになるんでしょうね。
Jessica's room was filled with laughter.
なんつうかさ、幻滅するわけだぜ。ちょっと大人びててかっこいいかなーって思った人がさ、クラスの男どもで群れてる時にゲビた話して下品な声で笑ってるの見ちゃうとさ。
確かに男同士でいる時の男の方ってすごい子供っぽいですものね。まあそれを言ったら女も同じようなもんですけど。
Fun chat between girls continued without end. Tonight, Cross and Natsuki were out late at a meeting in Jima. Most of the time, Natsuki was always watching, so Jessica would make sure to be curt with the young servants. When Natsuki wasn't around, Jessica never did that. She had invited the servants of similar age to her room, and they were chatting away noisily. At that age, everyone wants to know about love. Thanks to the rigid and constricting way Jessica had been brought up, she enjoyed talking about it all the more.
お嬢様だって素敵だし、お年頃だし、気になる男の子がいらっしゃるんじゃないですか？
恋はしてえけど、気になる男子ってなかなかな。
He is the birth of canon, maybe?
お嬢様はもっと恋に積極的でもいいと思うんです。余裕ぶってられるのも今のうちですよ。友人の誰かが付き合いだしたなんてことになったら急に世界がひっくり返りますよ。
そんなわけねえじゃん。私の友達に裏切り者はいねえぜ。多分。
ああ、ダメダメ。女の友情で一番信用ができないのが恋の出し抜きです。お嬢様だって素敵な人と知り合ったら絶対友人なんて裏切って付き合っちゃいますって。
シャノンはどうなんだよ。私ばっかりでずるいぜ。
私はそういう方が身近におりませんし。
Not around. He's far, far away, and like Orihime and Hikiboshi, I don't get to see him very often. In fact, I don't even know when I will be able to see him again. However, I believe he will come for me someday. I believe it.
シャノンは裏切るなよ。彼氏作るなら一緒だぜ。約束したもんな。
ああ、シャノンちゃんみたいな子に限って案外早く一抜けしちゃうもんですよ。
シャノン、白状しろ。本当に付き合ってるやつはいないよな。なあ。
いませんよ。本当です。
本当に？
本当です。
私たち恋人作るのは一緒だからね。絶対だぜ。嘘ついたら針千本のません。
はい、約束します。
それは嘘をついてる顔ですよ。絶対この中でシャノンちゃんが一抜けする。私にはわかるんです。奥手そうな子がいつもみんなを出し抜くんです。
なんだよこの野郎。白状しろ。
お許しください、お嬢様。くすぐったい。
And so, another Sunday afternoon passed by. I'm just feeling really bad about this whole situation. I worked my way out of the fight and looked up the sky through the window. Is Battler's son happily chatting away with his friend somewhere right now? Just like I am. As I think of you like this, are you thinking of me? But if I ask that, it's the same as admitting that I don't trust you. I'll wait. When you do come for me, I'll announce then and there that I'm quitting my job. I've already prepared myself to do so, but you haven't come yet. That isn't because you won't come, but because I'm not determined enough yet, right? It's because I haven't clearly envisioned a future with you, right? I'll wait, no matter how long, until you come for me, riding a white horse. I'll always treasure our promise, the promise of our precious resolve.
男と約束なんかしちゃダメです。当てになりませんって。
Think that she read my mind. I spun round. Of course she hadn't, but
やっぱその辺さ、男と女で価値観ってかなり違うと思うんだよ。
男と約束なんかしちゃダメです。当てになりませんって。違います。全然違いますって。基本的に女の子は夢見がちで、男は何も考えてなくて適当って感じです。
異性同士で心を通わせるってやっぱ無理なのかな。
相当難しいと思いますね。女はすぐに相手のことが分かったような気になっちゃう悪癖がありますから、男の言う特に深い意味のない言葉にいちいち何かを感じてしまって勝手に勘違いしちゃうって結構ありますから。
いるそういう子。はために見て どう見ても大したこと言われてないのに、一方的に彼は私に気があるとか言っちゃってる子。いる。
女の一方的な勘違いって痛々しいですもんね。
The pair of them laughed together. When a girl gets the wrong idea. Could that be me? No, that can't be. After all, Battler clearly made a promise. He said he'd come for me riding a white horse. I mustn't doubt. I'm sure this conversation I'm hearing is just another one of God's trials. So I won't listen. I won't care about it.
勝手に心が通じたとか思っちゃう痛い女の子にだけはなりたくねえぜ。
Those demonic sneers tormented me and tried to lead me astray. I'm sure he'll come to the next family conference. But Battler didn't appear at the 1982 conference either. Bit by bit, things were changing from the way they've been the last family conference he'd come to. Everyone had gotten completely used to Kirei-sama, Rudolph-sama's new wife, and she had came out with boat with a familiar stride. Her daughter Angie-sama was growing well, and all the family focused their attention on her. Even Maria-sama, though she was still tiny, was already 5 years old. She was full of energy and old enough to enjoy playing with George. Jessica and George had already stopped talking about Battler's absence. It was the same with the other relatives too. No one touched on the subject, as though they had forgotten that Battler was missing. Maria had only been 3 when she last seen Battler. Was doubtful whether she ever remembered him. In just 2 years, all traces of your existence has been erased from your Shermia family conference. That made me sad. And so?
今年もバトラ様はお帰りになられませんでしたね。
そうだね。彼が来なくて寂しいかい？
それはその
ルドルフおじさんたちも彼の話を切り出さないし、どうやら僕たちが思ってたよりもずっとバトラ君は本気だったみたいだね。
あいつ本気でもう帰ってこねえのかな。
やっぱりあれは巣立ちだったんだよ。彼は新しい人生のステージに向かって羽ばたいていった。そういうことじゃないのかな。
無鉄砲のはちゃめちゃなやつだったけど、ま、男ってのはそういうもんなのかもしれねえぜ。
彼のことだからね。新しい生活もきっと順応して楽しく元気にやっていると思うよ。だから心配しなくていいと思うよ。
When George-sama said that with a smile, I felt a bit uncertain. What does he mean by there's no reason to worry? I'm sure he is enjoying himself.
バトラのことだから、私たちのことなんかケロッと忘れて楽しくやってるんだろうぜ。
うん、きっとそうだよ。そして僕はそれが一番だと思うな。バトラ君は自分と家族、そして亡くなったお母さんのことを考えて新しい生き方を自ら選択した。ならその新しい人生にまっすぐに生きてほしいね。後ろ宮家のことなんて忘れてしまうくらいがちょうどいいよ。
George smiled at me as though expecting me to agree. After a moment of shock, I smoothed my expression over and found the expression he was expecting. Is Battler living happily? Having forgotten about the family, about me, about our promise? It can't be true. It just can't be. Battler must be looking forward to the day of decision, just like me. Not mistaken about that. He promised me. He said he'd come riding a white horse. I never asked him to say that. He said he'd come for me on the day I resolved myself to live life for his sake. He made that promise himself. For 2 years, I've believed that. I've done all I could to make it through God's trials and the whisperings of demons that tried to throw me off my path. And yet, things that both George and Jessica are saying are so cruel. Battler has forgotten about us and started a new life. Why are they telling such lies? But at night, I dreamed of Battler for the first time in a long while. The Battler in my dream wasn't the Battler I believed in. It was the Battler that George and Jessica had spoken of. The one who had forgotten everything and started a new life. Morning, I woke up with a tear-stained face. The face I saw in the mirror cried and told me I couldn't wait any longer. If I've managed to wait this long, why can't I wait any longer? This is a trial, so I must believe in him and wait. But the me in the mirror spoke. It was sharper than a fragment of glass. I talked about this promise with him. Did we ever really make such a promise? Wasn't Jessica talking about it? That some girls or dreamers get the wrong idea? Wasn't George talking about it too? He said that Battler had gotten used to his new life and had forgotten about the Ushirimiya family. And by now, he isn't the only one who's forgotten. Unless I ask about it, everyone on this island has forgotten his name. Unless I talked about it, everyone on this island has forgotten his name. Even Rudolph. Someone doesn't say his name anymore. If I weren't here to remember his face, perhaps his existence would have been erased from everyone's hearts. Don't believe it, so I won't doubt. Battler must still remember his promise. We're both waiting for the day of decision, the day we'll be together. Battler, I firmly made up my mind. Does the fact that you're not here meant that, after all, I'm not determined enough? No, it's because you and God are testing me, isn't it? In that case, I will endure, till that promised day inevitably comes. So, please, Battler, I want some proof that you haven't forgotten about me. It was the crack that ran across my ceramic-like heart. I had to acknowledge it now. Maybe that I'm pretending not to notice something terrifying and sad. Battler makes me yearn for him. Battler makes me sad. Battler makes me hurt. Battler, do you still remember me now? Uh, 1 year later. 3 years until the crime. And then came the third family conference since Battler left. If the number of beds was going to increase, we have been told about it when setting up. The fact that nothing had changed in particular means that he probably won't be here in this year either. Clinging to a final bit of hope, I stood by the docks watching the boat draw closer.
Yo, シャロンちゃん、今年もべっぴんだね。
ほら、エンジェ。足元に気をつけて。
いやあ、シャロン。やっぱりロッケン島はいいね。早くクラウスおじさんもリゾート化すればいいのに。
しなくていいわよ。もったいないわ。
エヴァ。
それもそうね。お久しぶりね、シャノンちゃん。背、ちょっと伸びたんじゃない？
ありがとうございます。
A lot.
今年もいい天気や。こうして親族誰一人欠けることなく元気に揃うのは実にめでたいことや。
それでは皆様、お屋敷にご案内いたします。
So, after all, Battler had been so thoroughly forgotten that he might not have existed in the first place. I'm sure that sadness will show on my face. Not wanting anyone to see it, I turned my back to the family and led the way up to mention myself. Then, suddenly someone mentioned Battler's name and I jumped.
バトラ君に会ったんですか？
元気にしてました？
ええ、元気だったわ。先日、エンジェを連れてちょっとだけお茶をしてきたの。
I was surprised. Sorciere was in touch with Battler. According to her, both Battler and Rudolph had long since calmed down after their fight. But both were so stubborn that they hadn't found a good chance to make up. And since Battler had gotten used to living with his grandparents and going to school there, considering that those grandparents might make things even more difficult, going to convince Battler to come home wouldn't be easy.
仕方ないわよ。バトラ君よりアスムさんのご両親の方がお怒りだったと思うもの。もうこの喧嘩は バトラ君とルドルフさん2人だけのものじゃなくなってる。
じゃあバトラはそのうち帰ってくるんですか？
ルドルフさんと仲直りはするけれど、後ろ宮家に帰ってくるつもりはないみたい。仕方ないわ。気持ちもわかるもの。
It was a bit of a relief to hear that some of the bad feelings had died down in these 3 years. If we take Asumu-san's parents into account, it's no surprise that things haven't gone as well as they could. But if Battler doesn't hate Rudolph anymore, then someday, surely he'll come back. He'll have grown so much. My resolve will not waver anymore. For some nights these past 3 years, I felt sad and resentful. Now it feels as though those 3 years were something I needed. After all, the seeds of love, the faint feelings I once had for you, have budded powerfully, waiting for the day we'll be reunited. This is how honest my feelings for you are now. I love you. I want to see you again as soon as I can. Till that time, I'll keep that bud of love warm and growing for you. I won't doubt the coming of that day anymore. Just as I think of you under the same sky, believe that you're thinking of me. I'm sure this news about him is a sign that God is cheering me on. So I ask God one more time inside my heart. Since my feelings for Battler had not wavered for a day these past 3 years, let me know that he feels the same way. Note that asking for that is a sin. However, now that we've reached a 3-year turning point, I want some gift from God, any gift, to show that I have not waited in vain. That is what I prayed.
そうだ。バトラ君とみんなもずいぶん長く会ってないでしょ？みんなも寂しがってるだろうから、手紙を書きなさいって言って、書かせてきたのよ。
Huh? Did God really hear my prayers? I felt as though my heart was going to leap out of my chest.
バトラからの手紙？へえ。あいつ何を書いたんだろう。
彼の近況でも書かれてるのかな。楽しみだね。
Kyrie, there isn't going to be a letter for her. Oh no, I don't think. Kyrie pulled a brown envelope out of the bag and handed it to George. Just one? When George opened it, several folded letters came out.
これは僕宛てみたいだね。一枚一枚宛先が違うみたいだ。はい、こっちはジェシカちゃん。
サンキュー。
これはマリアちゃんにだって。読めるかな？
後で読んで聞かせるわ。ありがとう。
エンジェちゃん宛てもあるよ。さすがにまだ読めないよね。
読めるようになったら渡すことにするわ。
こっちは元気で楽しくやってるぜ。だってさ、ならよかったぜ。
Oh, this is so terrible.
それで全部ですか？
うん。これで全部みたいだね。ありがとう。
George handed me the empty envelope. Apparently he thanked me because he thought I was offering to throw it away from him. And clearly there was nothing inside it. There was no letter for me.
おやおや、文面を見る限り、バトラ君は随分元気に過ごしてるみたいだね。毎日が充実してるってさ。
私の方にもそう書いてある。楽しく過ごせてるなら、そりゃ結構なことだぜ。
バトラ君たらひどいわね。キリエさんに手紙を書けと促されるまで私たちのことを忘れてたそうよ。
バトラ君らしいでしょ？ずいぶん生活が充実してたみたい。学校では女の子にモテモテみたいよ。
へえ、それはすごいね。
バトラは変に気ざったらしくて笑えるとこがあるから、そういうの好きな子もいるだろうな。納得だぜ。
後ろ宮家へ帰ってくるつもりはないのかしらね。
ないみたいだね。僕の方にロッケン島に行くことはもうないだろうって書いてあるよ。
I knew that all these letters were trials from God. The fact that there was no letter for me, and the fact that he was enjoying life and had forgotten about Rokkenjima, were just more trials. God is testing me. The fact that there was no letter from me alone is proof of that. New music? That's what I want to think. But now it's just too much.
あんたにとって大切な約束だったかもしれない。それはバトラにとってはそうではなかったらしいな。
そんな、それじゃ迎えに来るという約束は？
夢見がちな私の錯覚か。
バトラにとってはちょっとしたカッコつけただけの意味のない言葉だったのかもな。
To anyone but her, it would have been such a funny story to hear. The promise with Battler might have been an illusion this whole time. In the first place, we don't even know if they both felt the same way about each other at all. Love is an illusion, or if both sides are seeing the same illusion, then love becomes true. However, when the feelings of each side are different, then it's nothing more than a joke.
これがバトラの罪だ。
約束と誤解させたこと。
違う。
え？
それを覚えてさえいなかったことだ。
破った約束ならなじることもできる。悔いることも、あるいは取り返すことも。でも覚えてさえいないことは何も問い詰めることができません。バトラさんを憎むことなどできません。バトラさんは約束を破ってさえいないのですから。
ただ初めから約束などなかった。
ただただ悲しいだけの滑稽な物語。
I kept on crying and crying. I dug my fingernails into my pillow, soaking it with my tears. How much easier it would be to hate something, but I can't hate anything. I just couldn't get over my miserable arrogance, which had led me to believe that these 3 whole years that he felt the same as I did.
わらわのせいだ。わらわが無責任にもバトラが約束してくれたかのようにそなたに吹聴してしまったのだ。
いいえ、誰も悪くないんです。私が彼の気持ちも私と同じだと決めつけてしまったから。
約束こそバトラはしなかった。しかしバトラの気持ちは決していい加減なものではなかったはず。そなたのそれに比べれば確かに多少の温度差はあろう。しかしそなたのことを好いていたのは間違いない。それだけは間違いない。
もうやめてください。私が好きなように彼も私を好きだと何の疑いもなく信じてきました。慰めないでください。むしろ嘲笑ってください。
Before I knew it, a dull, inescapable pain had pierced my chest. When I pressed my hand against my chest, I realized that what the pain was. It was the blood of love, the seeds that I sown and nurtured in my heart. Its root had spread all the way across my chest, tormenting me like a metal wire wrapped around my heart. They looked less like roots and more like fissures running through my heart. I can only hold back the pain by tearing out the root of love. No matter how much I scratch at it, I'm only scratching at my chest. The roots of love don't move at all. If I started hating Battler without any lingering interest or regrets, I'd be able to pull this root out easily. Once I did, it'd probably leave a hole behind, but at least it wouldn't hurt me anymore. But I can't pull it out. Even though it hurts so much, those roots of love are still stuck in my heart.
私、今もバトラさんのことが大好きです。会いたいです。帰ってきてほしいです。いつかきっと帰ってくると信じて、これからも待ち続けたいのに。でももうダメなんです。
As I sobbed, the tightness in my chest grew even stronger. As long as I like Battler, that pain will always continue. Because I like him, I want to hold that pain forever. But it was written right there in the letters of George and the others. Battler doesn't plan on returning to the Shurimiya family. He has forgotten about me and Rokkenjima. He has forgotten about me and Rokkenjima and has started a new life with a different name. I must wait for him for all eternity, despite how painful, aching, excruciating this is.
これも試練なんですか？帰ってこない彼を永遠に待てと。神様はそうおっしゃるのですか？無理です。私はバトラさんと一緒にいたいんです。それを願う試練がこれだなんてあまりに辛すぎます。
Beatrice hung her head in shame. If she hadn't encouraged Shannon so much, it probably wouldn't have been this painful. Shannon may have been the one to sow the seeds of love in her heart. However, Beatrice had irresponsibly watered it and told Shannon not to give up. Beatrice crashed at her chest, trying to share Shannon's pain. Beatrice mumbled to herself, "What is this music? Is she gonna take Shannon's pain away from her? Make her forget about Battler?" I see what's happening. Beatrice will absorb the love and just keep it locked and tight within Beatrice instead of Shannon.
ありもしない約束の幻想を見せ、そなたの3年間を苦しめたわらわがそなたの恋の目を育まねば、今のそなたはこれほどに苦しまなかっただろう。シャノン、冷酷に聞こえるだろうが聞け。
何でしょう。
バトラを忘れよ。恋の目など元よりなかったのだ。
いいえ、これは私の育んだ恋の目。どんなに辛くとも忘れることなどありません。
しかしその痛みにもう耐えることはできないのであろう。
What is this music? Wordlessly, Shannon held her chest and hung her head. I love Battler. A feeling burns inside me, so that I still cannot let it go no matter how much it hurts. Yet I've spent 3 years pretending that I didn't feel that pain. Now I know that I feel it. And since I know, I can't bear it.
バトラへの恋の目を捨てることはできぬか。
はい。
だがそのままでは、その目は、根は、そなたを殺してしまう。人は宇宙を持たねば生きられぬ。そして宇宙は一人では生み出せぬ。二人いるのだ。
宇宙。
そなたは恋の目という宇宙をバトラと二人で生み出した。その片方が欠けたからそなたの宇宙が壊れたのだ。人は、宇宙は一人では何も成し得ぬのだ。
でも私の宇宙を生み出すもう一人のバトラさんは帰ってきません。
ならばバトラ以外のものと新しい宇宙を生み出すしかない。
バトラさん以外の誰かと生み出すというのですか？
その誰かをわらわが与えよう。
誰かって？
そなたの心を、傷を埋め癒してくれる存在だ。そやつはそなたを裏切らぬ。そう、そなたの新しい兄弟だ。そなたに弟を与えよう。
弟？
福音の家で仲の良かった実の弟のように可愛がってきた少年。そういう存在をそなたに与えよう。そやつはそなたと二人で新たな宇宙を築くだろう。
その弟がバトラさんを 恋の痛みを忘れさせてくれるのですか？
そうだ、そなたには宇宙が必要だ。
ではこの胸の恋の目はどうするのですか？私のバトラさんへの気持ちは変わりません。枯れさせることなどできません。
わらわが代わりに引き受けよう。
あなたが？
そなたは恋の痛みを忘れ、新しい宇宙を作り直すことができる。恋の目はわらわが代わって引き受ける。わらわは痛みをも引き継ぐことになるが、恋を知ることができる。
Beatrice wanted to know love. She wanted to feel what Shannon had felt in the world of humans.
もしバトラが帰ってくる日が訪れた時、まだこの目が枯れずにいて、そなたが望んだならこの目をそなたに返そう。それならばどうか。
Still hanging her head, Shannon gave a small nod but said nothing. Mean that release from this unbearable pain, and would mean that giving the bud of love to the witch to hold it in her place. Shannon had spread her hands that she held to her chest. As she did, a faint light popped out of her chest and floated in the air, gradually swallowing everything with its brightness. As the brilliant light began to fade away, Shannon and Beatrice, still facing each other, were now inside a vast, starry sphere like a planetarium. They were the only ones in this pitch-black starry sea. Shannon felt as though she'd seen this place before, but she couldn't remember. Then they made another announcement.
変恋の目をシャノンからベアトリーチェに。
This way, Shannon won't be tormented by the bud of love anymore, and furthermore, she will be given a little brother, with whom he can create a new universe. The design for the little brother will be a younger boy at the Gospel House, Fukuin House, with whom Shannon was close. For a name, let it be the canon character, as the Gospel House rule states. Yeah, I've decided. It's a perfect name to go with Shannon's. He'll be a quiet, reticent boy. He'll come to Rokkenjima as a new servant. There, he will open his heart to Shannon. As a duty-minded boy who loves Shannon like a big sister, he'll always be there for her. Let's have him be a special servant like Genji, who's permitted to serve Kinzo directly. Yeah, that sounds kind of cool. Then Beatrice. From now on, you'll carry the bud of love. In other words, the role of being infatuated with Battler and waiting for his return will go to you. You are still the witch who reigns over Rokkenjima's night. You also have been waiting for Shirumiya Battler ever since that day 3 years ago. Along with this change in setting, I'll give you a new form as well. He did tell us what his ideal woman would look like once, remember? A woman with good figure and long golden hair, like a foreign model. Oh, golden hair, long hair, a good figure. Yeah, something like that. That's what the new Beatrice will look like. Come now. Hold that bud of love in your heart as you wait for Battler. This way you'll learn of love in exchange for earning pain. Yes, this will be the new setting for my new world. For Shannon, a new servant like a brother will come. He'll be silent, reticent boy, duty-minded kid who loves Shannon like a sister. And the bud of love that had tortured Shannon will go to the witch Beatrice. She will just be the holding on to the bud of love for the time being. However, while she still holds onto it, she will be a maiden in love with Battler. For that time, you'll be able to learn what love is. Beatrice, come, let the world be modified. Oh, I am one, yet many. Awaken us, and stretch your wings in this new world. Then Beatrice comes knocking. Beatrice will not be the same anymore. Slowly, I opened my eyes to the gentle rays in the morning sun. How long has it been since I last saw such a pleasant morning? The face in the mirror is tear-stained and pathetic. My heart is as clear as the morning sun. Still remember that strange dream. I already can feel myself forgetting it rapidly. The place I was in my dreams had been such a strange place. A peaceful, calm place. There, I had left behind the pain that carried my chest until yesterday. So this morning, my heart was at peace. My tear-stained face really is pathetic, or my expression is bright and cheery. Even now, I like Battler's son, but for some reason, I've calmed down. Feels like I put something precious safely away in the place it belongs. Battler, when will you come back, I wonder? When you do, I'd like to talk about mystery novels again. Oh, I almost forgot. A new boy servant will come in today, right? One of the rare servants who will serve the master directly. What kind of kid will he be? I hope we get along well. What was his name again? Pretty sure it was, Canon. And puberty happens, maybe, I don't know. Journey to the Godland. Beatrice in the night will find the gold. A Beatrice that is still painfully awaiting for Battler. That's going to happen. Men in work clothes were spreading a tarp over a section of the wall of the hall. From the way they measured the wall and set out tools, it could be seen that they were planning some sort of construction project.
親方様がとても大切にされております。くれぐれも傷つけることがないように。
The president of the construction company nodded his head several times to show that he understood. Then 6 young workers carried a large rectangular object wrapped in a white sheet.
よーし、気をつけろ。そっとだぞ。そっとけ。じゃあ転ばしていいっすか。よーし、始めるぞ。
Apparently they were putting something large onto the wall of the hall.
あれをあそこに飾るというのですか。
そうご希望だ。この屋敷とて親父殿の玩具に過ぎんよ。
Natsuki took a deep breath. Though this was a whim of Kingzo's, a man she greatly respected, she seemed to resist the idea of hanging right there in the entrance hall in the face of the mansion. When the white sheet was pulled off, a Western woman wearing a beautiful dress came into view. It was a massive portrait of a woman.
順調であるか。
はい、夕方までには完了します。
早く堂々と掲げられたところが見たい。監督を頼むぞ。我が友よ。
お任せを。
お父さん、立派な絵ができたようですね。ん？素晴らしい出来栄えだ。満足しておる。
お父様に黄金を授けられたという恩人の女性ですね。
そうだ。ベアトリーチェとの出会いがなければ今の私はなく、後ろ宮家もなく、無論この屋敷もなかったである。
So did Shannon pose for the portrait, or did Shannon get the idea from the portrait?
彼女の肖像画を最も良い場所に飾るのは当然のことである。
Now that he had said it bluntly, there would be no contradicting him. Cross and Natsuki could only shrug.
親方様、碑文のプレートです。内容のご確認をお願いいたします。
うん。一言一句間違っていてはならんからな。
Epitaph? Cross and Natsuki crooked their heads and followed Kingzo. The leader of the workers set down a plate wrapped in a sheet. The others thought that the picture's name and description might be on it. Oh, the epitaph. But it seemed to have quite a lot of words for that.
お父様、これは？
懐かしき故郷を貫く鮎の川。 解釈するがよい。
いよいよ碑文と肖像画の登場か。
碑文というものが私にはよくわかりません。私の世界にはないものですから。
だろうな。お前の世界にはお前という明白な跡継ぎがいるからな。しかしこの世界にはいない。
それはつまりこの碑文はやはりおじい様が後継者を選ぶために設けたと。
おそらくはな。あるいは奇跡を信じたのかもしれない。
A difficult riddle, made so that no one will be able to solve it. If someone actually could solve it, they themselves would be a miracle. Perhaps that miracle would guide the person Kinzo most wanted to solve it.
つまりこの碑文はやはり誰もが想像するように魔女ベアトリーチェを復活させる儀式を記したものなのですか？
普通に考えればこれはそう読み取れるでしょう。13人の生贄を捧げれば魔女が蘇ると読み取れる謎の儀式。しかし本当の儀式はそれではない。奇跡的に解ける誰かを待つ。
The first part is where it's at, then maybe the second part of the riddle is like some sort of code that needs to be inputted. And then the last is, I don't know.
そちらこそが本当の儀
Behold
式。
the sweetfish river of my home of old. I still don't know when Kinzo spent his... He spent in Odawara. No, wait. So he went to Odawara when he was chosen to be the successor, right? But before that, where did he live? I don't know.
しかし運命とは皮肉なもの。
As I said before, I do think that the gold is underneath the chapel, where they're at right now.
源氏は知っていた。
It was a plot, some sort of weird, like, it was back in the second game, I think, when, like, it was in the first few moments when, before the Red Truth, I think, or that battler pointed something very weird about the chapel, like some sort of code that was written there. And yeah, this is the location, probably, or at least one clue about it.
その運命が偶然だったのか私にはわかりません。しかしその碑文により魔女ベアトリーチェは本当の意味での復活を遂げるのです。
So Beatrice found it.
黄金鏡への旅立ち。
Beatrice, the Beatrice that had taken on the pain, had found the gold. Maybe.
これがベアトリーチェ。
My soul was captured by the woman showing that massive portrait. That might have been literally true. Rather, that capture perhaps would be better to say that my soul had returned to a more fitting place. The place it belonged. The beautiful blonde hair was the same as mine, but tied up. The dress she wore was a deep black, making the golden hair stand out all the more. This is the witch, Beatrice. My true form.
これは何か。
There was a plate with too many words for it to be a title of the picture. Behold the swift-fish river running through my beloved hometown. You who seek the golden land, follow the path downstream in search of the key.
黄金鏡。そうか。わらわの世界は黄金鏡なのか。
I have always called my own personal world a paradise, but tonight I shall change that. From now, my world shall be the Golden Land. I am the master of the Golden Land, Beatrice. And then is the brutal ceremony of sacrifices, starting on the first twilight. On the 9th twilight, the witch shall revive, and none shall be left alive.
わらわはこの儀式を執り行えば真の復活を得るというのか。
Then on the 10th twilight, at journey's end, you shall attain the power of the Golden Lance treasures once and for the last time. The witch shall praise the wise and bestow 4 treasures. One shall be all the gold from the Golden Land. Kings will receive a massive amount of gold from Beatrice, and rumor has it that it still lies hidden somewhere. Is this, as the family members and servants are all whispering, a code showing the location of Kingsley's hidden gold?
人間が至れば莫大な黄金を手に入れるであろう。しかしわらわが至れば自らの復活を得る。
Kinzo, you aging magician. Just when was I mocking the shortness of time left in you? You started a game like this. How interesting. I'll definitely solve it. Then I will revive as the real Beatrice. When will that happen? I will use my great magical power to rule over object and man, day and night, and all of Rokkenjima.
あの碑文、宝の隠し場所を示しているともっぱらの評判です。
噂では、親方様は10トンもの黄金をお隠しになられたとか。
ベアトリーチェに授けられたとかなんとか、僕も噂を聞いたことはあるよ。
10トンの黄金なんてすごいですね。想像もつかないです。
そんなにあったら何に使えばいいやら。一度手に取ってみたいですね。
手に取るだけと言わずに使い切ってみたいですね。
でも碑文を、黄金の隠し場所の暗号をなぜわざわざ掲示されたのでしょうね。
決まってるよ。解けるもんかっていう闇に決まってる。
親方様からの挑戦ではないでしょうか。これが解ける知恵者はおらんかという。
親方様はどうやらクラウス様に素直に当主の座を明け渡されるつもりはないご様子。これはひょっとすると先に解いたものを次期当主にするという意味かもしれませんよ。
源氏さん、これは何？これまさかお父様の例のベアトリーチェの肖像画なの？
はい、ベアトリーチェ様でございます。
なんやこら、けったいな詩みたいなもんが書いてあるで。
何よこれ、まるで海賊か何かの宝の隠し場所の暗号文みたいじゃない。源氏さん、これはどういう意味なの？
ご自由に読み、ご自由に解釈されるようにと、親方様は仰せです。謎は、この碑文を目にできるものすべてに公平にと。
今、謎って言ったわよね。謎ってのは、解けるものという意味だわ。やっぱりそうよ。そうなのよ。お父様は兄さんに、当主を継がせるつもりなんてないんだわ。
つまり、この謎を解けた奴が、次期当主っていうことか。
Here comes the gold rush.
やっと巡ってきた。やっと巡ってきたのよ。私が当主になれる本当のチャンスが。
キリエはどう考える？
その碑文が黄金の隠し場所を示している可能性は非常に高いわね。
姉貴はこの碑文を解けたやつが次期当主に選ばれるんじゃないかと見てるらしい。
その線もあり得るわね。お父さんはクラウス兄さんを次期当主の器と認めていない。これは余命いくばくのお父さんが仕掛けた最後の大仕掛けかもしれないわね。
つまり本当にこの謎を解けば10トンの黄金と次期当主の座が転がり込むってわけか。
建前上はね。でも絶対に解けるものかという悪意も感じるわ。簡単には解かせてもらえないでしょうよ。
だよな。 当分の間は酒の魚はこいつで十分そうだぜ。
バカバカしい。こんなの解けるわけないわ。
Rosa tossed aside a notepad with the epitaph written on it and flopped over to the sofa. Solving this means 10 tons of gold. With that much, I never need to worry about schemes for cash again. If I had money, I could pay off my debts, and that man might come back to me.
お父様の懐かしい故郷はわかるのよ。鮎の川って何？川なんていくつもあるわ。里って何よ。ああ、さっぱりだわ。
どうしたの、ママ。
Maria looked concerned. Kids are generally good at riddles, so maybe.
ねえマリア、この謎々わかるかしら。
Maria gazed at the paper with the epitaph as though she was trying to bore through her eyes. Her eyes opened wider and wider.
どう？マリア、やっぱりちょっと難しいかしら。
これは魔女の儀式だよ。ベアとの復活の儀式だ。どうしたのこれ。ねえママ、どうしたのこれ。ベアとに聞いてみよう、聞いてみよう。きっとこの儀式でベアとは本当の力を取り戻すよ。もう半魔法の毒素なんかに悩まされずに、みんなの前に姿を現して魔法の奇跡を見せてくれるんだよ。
碑文は、親族の皆様は競って謎解きに挑まれているようです。
それでよい。誰もが挑め。そして誰にも解けぬ。奇跡に祝福されたものを除いてな。気を許せば私とて解き方を暴出しそうになる。あれはそれほどに難解だ。
難解であるがゆえに解けた時奇跡となる。
そうだ。これは私が人生の最後に望む最後の奇跡、最後の魔法なのだ。あの難解な碑文の謎が解ける奇跡が訪れた時、きっとそれはベアトリーチェの復活を意味するのだ。おお、ベアトリーチェ見たい。もう一度その面影が見たい。もはや富も名誉も何もいらぬ。そなたに最後に一目会うことができたなら。
This would be the last bit of magic that Kinzo, who realized he was facing his last years, would ever use. He was betting everything that Beatrice had given him, hoping to meet her just one more time, after being separated by death through 2 generations. This meeting with Beatrice that day had been the true beginning of his life, and even with them gone, Kinzo had remained there alone on the stage that had gone dark. The aged monarch had obtained everything, accomplished everything. But this was the one element that had always slipped away through his fingers, no matter how much he struggled. If he could have just had that element, he would need nothing else in his life. In the end, perhaps his whole life was just a journey to learn that one single element makes up all that it means to be a human.
我が友よ、我が人生最後の魔法は私に奇跡を見せてくれるだろうか。
For a while, Genji was silent. He wasn't at a loss for words or struggling to find an answer. During that silence, something had passed between the two men who had known each other for so long that their friendship surpassed that of master and servant.
いや、それでよいのだ。誰にも解けぬ。だから奇跡なのだ。
親方様、一つお教えください。
ん？何か？
もしもでございます。奇跡が起こり。
ん
？It may have been difficult during his youth, but in his old age, Genji rarely spoke of dreams and what-ifs. When Genji said if, Kinzo quietly waited for the words of the man he called a friend.
もしも 奇跡が起こり、親方様の魔法が叶って、ベアトリーチェ様がご復活を遂げられたらいかがなさいますか？
As the one closest to Kinzo, Genji obviously knew of the crazed feelings with which Kinzo had searched for Beatrice in the past, and yet Genji was asking what Kinzo would do if Beatrice did revive.
親方様はすでに一度ベアトリーチェ様が生まれ変わるという奇跡をご経験なされております。その奇跡が再び起こったならいかがなさいますか？
我が友よ、そなたはやはり私を咎めるのか？
親方様とベアトリーチェ様のお心のすべてを私に知ることはできません。しかしベアトリーチェ様がどのように親方様をお慕いしていたのか、その一部は存じ上げているつもりでおります。
悔やんでおる。お前は信じぬだろうが、私は老いてから全てを後悔したのだ。もし奇跡が起こり、ベアトリーチェがよみがえってくれたなら、無論私との日々や過去のことなど何も覚えてなくて構わん。いいや、ベアトリーチェでさえあったならそれが誰でも構わぬ。私はただ謝りたいのだ。
それは本心でございますか？
そうだ、我が友よ、悔いている。若き日の過ちを深く悔いている。お前も老いたならわかるであろう。若き日の過ちは若き日には何の咎も感じはせん。しかしそれは深い棘のように次第に生み、私を苛むのだ。この後ろ宮金蔵、今さら死に様などこだわりはせん。しかしこの棘だけは、この後悔だけは清算したいのだ。ベアトリーチェに全てを返す。そして罪の許しを請う。それだけが私の最後の願いなのだ。
Kinzo covered his eyes and sobbed. The aged monarch, who had built up a great wealth in a single generation, was reaching the end of his life, and he could do nothing but sob because he wanted to someone to apologize to.
碑文はおじい様が跡継ぎを選ぶために課した試験なのでは？
うん。俺も最初はそう考えていたが、少し事情が違うかもしれねえ。
この時点では私も試験だと思っていました。これは後宮金蔵の気まぐれなる跡継ぎ選びのゲームだと。
違うのですか？
この碑文は後宮金蔵と炉上源氏の二人にしかわからぬある意味を持っていたのです。だからこれは運命なんかじゃない、必然だったのです。私はかぼちゃの馬車からガラスの靴まで全てを準備されたシンデレラに過ぎない。
なるほどな。これは金蔵と源氏の茶番だった。
So Genji did blabber about Shannon then.
金蔵は分かっていたのです。そして源氏もまた。これがそのメッセージだと。
私には意味がさっぱりわかりません。おじい様は何を分かっていたのです？そして源氏さんはこの碑文と何の関係があるというのです？
碑文は解かれたんじゃない、解かされたんだ。
そしてベアトリーチェは真の復活を果たす。
Made to be solved.
ベアトリーチェが復活せずにいたならば
同じ1986年を迎えても事件は全く違っていたかもしれねえ。
結局私は生まれたその時から運命の岐路においてはただの一度も私の意志では何の選択の権利も与えられなかったのです。ああ、我こそは我にして我らなり、なれど我ら運命に抗えたる試しはただの一度もなし。我らなど所詮は渦に舞う木の葉も同じ。どのように舞おうとも渦に飲み込まれて消えるのみ。
Oh.
瞬間移動が得意なのはガープだね。序列第33位の大悪魔だよ。そんなのがお友達なんて、やっぱりペアとはすごいね。
なるほどな。大悪魔のガープか。よし、我が友よ。そなたはこれよりガープだ。ガープと名乗るがよい。
やれやれ。やっと私に名前がついたのね。
Finally.
ずっと名なしだったから嬉しいわ。
では、その調子で私にも名前を賜れますと光栄ですな。いつまでも家具頭だけでは味気がないというものです。
マリア、こやつにも名付けを頼む。こやつも大悪魔でわらわに仕える執事のようなものだ。わらわの信頼できる部下であるぞ。
おー、ロノウェイかな。序列第27位の大悪魔だよ。頼れる従者を与えてくれると言われてる。
おや、これは奇遇ですな。私の分身である源氏の名字もロノウェ。
ほう、これは確かに奇遇。なるほど。そなたにこれほどふさわしい名前はないようだな。よし、そなたの名はこれよりロノウェだ。
おお、名前で呼ばれることのなんと甘美なことか。素敵な名前を感謝します、マリア卿。
形がよりしろとなるように、名前もまた強力なよりしろなの。異界の未知の存在は名前を与えるだけでもその魔力を大きく増すんだよ。だから名前は大事なの。
そうね。本当に名前は大事で素敵。ねえリア、これからは私のことはガープって呼んでね。ガープ。良い名ですね。心。それから私の大切な名前を勝手に略さないように。
ベアトリーチェのもとへ導く者、ワルギリアですか。それも実にいい名前。お嬢様の師匠にふさわしいですな。
ええ、とても気に入っていますよ。名前は命。
マリア、そなたのおかげでわらわの友人たちは名前を得た。心より感謝するぞ。
じゃあ今度はベアトの番。マリアのお友達のウサギさんたちにもまた絵を描いてあげて。サクタロみたいに。
うんうん、よかろうぞ。その
Saktaro.
魔導書を貸すがよい。
Oh no. Oh, there he is.
ベアタは絵がとっても上手だから。
I forgot about him.
どんな絵になるの？どんな絵になるの？ウサギさんたち楽しみ。
森の音楽隊であったな。音楽隊。よしよし。こんな感じではどうか。
All of a sudden, Maria was no longer a little girl who did nothing but follow her mother around, laughing or crying. Though she was still young, she already has a powerful self-image and possesses enough knowledge of the magical world to surprise even me. Together, we call ourselves Mariage, Sorciere, and made each other's magical worlds deeper and richer.
名前も立派なよりしろであるか。味わい深い話であるな。
よりしろとして姿はとても大事だけど、名前も負けないくらい大事なの。
道理であるな。名も知らぬ者よりも名を知る者の方が強く印象に残るものだ。
姿や名前だけじゃないよ。もっともっと深く知ることによって、それはとても強く存在することができるの。だからいろいろなことを考えてあげるの。
例えばそれは作太郎もであるか？
うん、作太郎は名前と姿だけじゃないよ。他にもいろいろあるの。
ライオンの子であったな。
作太郎は草食ライオンだからお肉は食べない
Oh no. I feel sorry.
でも他のみんなからは肉食だと思われて怖がられてるの。でも作太郎も怖がりだからお互いに怖がってるの。作太郎はビビリなの。ウリュウ、僕はお肉は食べないよ。怖くないライオンだよ。あ、肉食スズメだ。バサバサバサ。ウリュウ、スズメ怖い。さ
スズメは肉食ではないであろうが。
作太郎がビビリだからスズメが肉食だと信じてるの。
Sparrow? I mean, is I don't know. There are a lot of birds that are
スズメはどっ
opportunists.
かに行っちゃった？
Aren't there like a lot of birds that are opportunistic carnivores or something like that? I don't know.
作太郎はビビリだな。そんな怖がりじゃまた作助や作吉にお兄ちゃんは怖がりってバカにされちゃうよ。ウリュウ、僕は怖がりじゃないよ。あ、スズメが戻ってきた。バサバサバサ。食べられる。
作太郎は実に面白い。今出てきた作助や作吉というのは兄弟なのか？
うん、お家で待ってる作太郎の弟たちなの。作助は作太郎よりしっかりしてて、作吉はとっても器用で何でもできるの。でもみんなとっても仲良しなんだよ。みんなマリアのベッドの上で仲良くしてるの。
そなたのベッドの上はライオンだらけであるな。
うん。だからマリアはベッドをライオンランドって呼んでるよ。ライオン以外にもいっぱい動物がいるけどね。
ライオンランドですか。それは楽しそうですな。
マリアの仲間たちは互いが互いと交流し合うことで、さらにその存在を強め合っている。見事な世界だわ。私たちももっと交流を深めた方が良いということですね。絆を深め合うことで、私たちの存在も魔力ももっともっと強くなる。
わらわたちももっともっと世界を広げようぞ。聞く限り、マリアの世界は作太郎やウサギたちだけでなく、他にもまだまだいると見える。わらわたちも負けてはおれぬぞ。
おやおや、負けてはおれぬぞとなると、我らも眷属を増やしますか？
The seven
黄
sticks.
金の蝶だけではどうにも面白みがない。あやつらは喋らぬからな。喋り、騒ぎ、内輪で喧嘩をするくらいに賑やかな眷属が欲しいぞ。
そうね。私たちも賑やかな方がいいに決まってる。私たちはマリアージュ・ソルシエールで世界の広げ方と眷属の増やし方を学びました。今やどのような眷属を増やすもあなたの想像力次第。
お嬢様、あれなどいかがです？先日ゴールドスミスの倉庫整理の折に見つけたあの物騒な道具の数々をより代にされて。
Goldsmith.
おお、良いではないか。
It's King's alright.
あのような物騒なよりしろより権限した眷属こそわらわにはふさわしいぞ。我らはどんどん増えるな。賑やかになるな。
新しいお友達がどんどん増えるの。これがマリアの魔法なの。そしてベアとはマリアのお友達に姿を与えることができる。育てることができる。
マリアが生み、わらわが育てる。これぞマリアージュ・ソルシエールであるな。それにしても
ウサギの耳はなかなかに難しい。
I see.
ウサギたちの権限はなかなかに手間取るぞ。
Oh, it's the Chester sisters. Oh, I'm remembering
せ
now.
っかくですから可愛くしてあげたいものです。
無論であるわ。それこそわらわの腕の見せ所であるぞ。
Create a creature, give it a name, and give it a form. Doing that is no different from giving birth to a new life. When a human gives birth to a child, they give it a form, give it a name, and to identify it by, and deepen its character by raising it in the world. Mariage Sorciere is doing exactly the same thing. In our world, we can create whatever creatures we think of, give them forms, give them names, and make them friends we can interact with. We were engrossed with our game in this world called Mariage Sorciere. At least Maria was engrossed. She would badger me to play this game every time she came. And of course, I was too. However, when Maria started happily writing something, I just sat there for a while. I must admit that I sighed and looked up at the sky, making sure she didn't notice. It's fun to increase the number of our minions. They make things lively, so I do not tire of it. I may have tired of my minions alone, but even that problem goes away when I can interact with Maria as well. It takes two people to create a universe, and I'll have that second person, so I am satisfied. Think I am satisfied. And yet, one little part of me is not. It surely is a tiny part. After all, it's so much fun playing with Maria that time seems to fly on by. But even so, when I look up at the sky, during those short moments, I feel an empty feeling that I can't describe. I know, my universe is not complete. My apologies to Maria, but she's not the second person I want to create a universe with. No matter how much I nurture my world with her, the roots of my love and my heart leave gaps. 4 years had already passed since that day. He left saying he'd come for me riding a white horse, and I was the only one without a letter. And he even said that he probably wouldn't be returning to Rokkenjima. Is this love? I always believed that love was much sweeter, so much more intoxicating. But now, I don't know anymore. Though I long for him so much that it's maddening, I can sometimes feel hatred underneath. However, even that hatred is wrapped in adoration. The roots of love have remained in the corners of my heart all this time. At some point, I gave up hoping that Battler would return. However, the roots of love stayed right where they were. In other words, even 4 years later, I still believe he will come back someday. The flowers of my love had curled up and withered as though against the winter cold. However, the root is still alive, and it is always waiting for him to return, waiting for a chance to bloom beautifully again. I'm grateful to Maria. Mariage Sorciere has eased the burden on my heart so much. If it hadn't meant like this, I may have withered away along with that root. Even this incomplete universe is necessary for me to remain alive now. Must live on until I can create my complete universe. Till that day, I will not be complete. But I have form and a name. No matter how deep my world grows, I will still not be complete. I accidentally muttered what I have been thinking. Maria stopped talking to Saktaro. Regret that my slip of the tongue had ruined this fun time. There was a long silence before I could smooth it over. Laughed, but probably sounded hollow. Maria, not knowing why my face suddenly had changed like this, looked taken aback.
わらわの眷属たちは次々に世界を深め、その存在を深め、満たしていくのに、わらわだけがいつまでも満たぬ。なぜ満たぬかは分かっているのだ。
それは魔力が足りないからだよ。
Maria answered instantly. Beatrice had lost her magical power and is unable to regain the strength that she once had. That's how the story goes, so Maria's answer was correct. That's right. It may be incomplete because I have lost my magical power. In that case, if my power becomes complete and I revive in the truest sense, will my world be complete as well? Does that mean that the person I want to nourish a universe with will come back? If, as I claim, I really was able to control miracles at will with my past, with my magic, and if I succeed in reviving, would that miracle definitely occur? If such a thing was possible, I'd want true magical power to use for my resurrection.
そうだな。魔力が足りないからであるな。
かわいそうに。ベアとはまだ魔力が弱いからいろいろと不自由なんだね。
早く取り戻したいものだな。かつての魔力を。
やっぱりあれをやらなくちゃいけないんだよ。
あれとは何か？
復活の儀式、肖像画の碑文の儀式だよ。
If you read the epitaph literally, it does sound like a witch resurrection ceremony. To Maria, who believes in witches, that epitaph must be a ceremony in itself. Unlike the other family members, it seems that she's not very interested in the location of the hidden gold.
あの碑文の謎を解けば、かつてわらわが金蔵に与えた莫大な黄金の隠し場所が知れよう。
ベアトが魔法で生み出した黄金だよね。
そうだ。魔力に満ち溢れし日の魔力の結晶である。
じゃあその黄金を取り戻せばベアトの魔力は元に戻るんだね。
そうなるかもしれぬな。な
るよ。やっぱりあれはベアトの復活の儀式なんだよ。マリアも手伝うから一緒に解こう。そしたらベアトは復活するよ。そして早くマリアをベアトの黄金鏡に連れて行って。
そうだったな。きっとそなたを黄金鏡に連れて行くと約束していたな。
そこではどんな願いも叶うってベアトは言った。そこには黒い魔女のいない優しいママに会える。会ったことのないパパにも会えるかもしれないね。もちろん学校も宿題も意地悪な友達も誰もいなくて、マリアとベアトはいつまでも楽しく暮らせるの。ねえサク太郎、楽しみだね。おりゅう。
The epitaph fell off the portrait, so I must face the epitaph's riddle after all. If Kinzo's children struggled uselessly over it, how could a complete stranger like me solve it? If I did happen to solve it, that would surely be a miracle. Doing that bring about another miracle and return my miraculous power to me? Behold the sweetfish running through my beloved hometown. You who seek the golden land, follow its path downstream in search of the key.
金蔵の故郷の川を下れば鍵が見つかるとでも言うのか。
As you travel down the river, you will see a village. In that village, look for the shore. The two will tell you of. There sleeps the key to the golden land.
川を下れば里もあろうが、二人が口にする騎士とは何か。
The one who obtains the key must travel to the golden land in accordance with these rules. So those who do not have the key need not read the rest and do not understand it. But that's how this riddle is. It's practically unsolvable, so solving it would be a miracle. That much makes sense. I feel a stabbing pain in my body. The anti-magic toxin had burned my skin. Some human is probably approaching. I raised my form. Multiple sets of footsteps approached. It was Genji, Shannon, and Kennen too. Oh, Genji will make a hint. Oh, I see. Genji will allude to a hint.
使用人たちの中にも碑文を書き写して持ち帰り、謎解きに挑む者が多いようです。
本当にあの謎を解くと 10トンの黄金が見つかるのでしょうか。
うん、それは間違いない。
わかりません。どうして親方様は大切な黄金の隠し場所を謎めいた碑文とはいえ、こうして誰もが目にできる場所にさらすのでしょう。
それが親方様の魔法であり賭けだ。親方様はこの難解な謎を解いた者は、ベアトリーチェ様の魂を宿すと信じている。
不思議な賭け。いえ、魔法ですね。
オカルト狂いも行き着くところまで行ったってわけだ。
そんなこと言っちゃダメ。
碑文の謎に挑む資格は全ての者に許されている。無論それは使用人も例外ではない。お前は挑んでいるのか？
いえ、こんな難しい謎、私にはさっぱりですし、それに10トンも黄金があっても特に使い道も思いつきませんし、私は今の穏やかな日がいつまでも続いてくれればそれで十分だと思ってます。
姉さんは最近ジョージ様といい雰囲気みたいだからね。浮かれて変なドジしなきゃいいけど。
そんなことありません。
With a backwards glance at this conversation, Genji walked up to the portrait and looked up at the witch. When they saw what Genji was doing, Shannon and Kennen immediately went silent. Genji, who was in the back, Genji, who was the head of the servants, the closest in age to Kinzo, the one whom Kinzo called a friend, probably understood Kinzo's heart better than anyone else. What did he think when he looked at this portrait? Neither Shannon nor Kennen could tell.
懐かしき故郷を貫く鮎の川。
Suddenly, Genji started reciting the epitaph. Shannon quickly nodded to show that she was listening, but it wasn't clear whether he was talking to her at all. Genji, his back still to them, continued.
親方様が懐かしむ故郷は小田原ではない。
Yeah, because that was the place where he was dead.
遠方にお住まいだったと聞いたことがあります。
どこかは存じませんが。
台湾だ。
What? Genji turned around and spoke that single word. Behold, so it's Taiwan. Does it have a village?
そうだったのですか。
So he lived not in Japan, but in another country entirely?
やっとクラウス様の話がつながったよ。ほら、親方様が好まれる瓶炉。
Rokkenjima.
そういえばクラウス様、あれは台湾ではタバコのようにポピュラーな嗜好品だとおっしゃってましたっけ。それで親方様は瓶炉を。
Oh no, this game is cancelled by the Chinese. In the half-century before the war, Taiwan was under the rule of Japan. Many Japanese have moved there, seeking a new frontier. Kinzo's family was a branch family of the Shiromiyas. Apparently, they were only distant relatives, only distantly related to their head family, so they were able to form a little new life and a new future without being constrained by the head family in Odawara. Shannon and Kennen nodded their understanding, but they didn't know why Genji had suddenly approached this subject.
では、親方様の故郷の台湾に鮎の泳ぐ川があって、そこに鍵があるということでしょうか。
姉さんはバカだな。鮎の泳ぐ川なんていくらでもあるに決まってる。
Sweetfish.
わからないよ。親方様
Might be some
が
wordplay
台湾
there.
のどちらにお住まいだったかは知らないけれど、そこには川が一つしかないのかもしれない。だったらそこってことになるじゃない。
姉さんは楽観的だな。そんな簡単なことで謎が解けるものか。
親方様の魔法の儀式は挑む者が多いほどにその力を増すと仰せだ。お前も挑戦してみなさい。誰にも等しく機会は与えられているのだ。
はい。
どうせ解けないさ。くだらない。
Genji spun round. Shinniken hurriedly followed after him. When his footsteps receded and silence returned, a golden butterfly fitted out from among the shadows. Now you have your hint. Taiwan.
台湾とな。ほう。随分と遠くに住んでいたものよ。
Behold the sweetfish river running through my beloved hometown. In other words, a sweetfish river running through Taiwan.
台湾に川などいくらでもあるわ。カノンの言う通りではない。バカバカしい。
However, the word Taiwan interests me. Tester and Genji murdered it without anyone asking, so is it possible that it means nothing? Clearly Genji is saying it's something to do with the Epitaph's riddle. It's almost as though that was a hint for solving it.
バカらしいとは思いつつも、よかろうぞ源氏。そなたの茶番にしばし付き合おうではないか。
Taiwan. I have traveled the world at times during the past 1,000 years, but I know nothing of the place.
を補うには知識の結晶に頼るが一番。それは薄く伸ばされて何枚にも重ねて閉じられて書物と呼ばれているのだ。
Where might I find a book about Taiwan? Kinzo's study is the first place that comes to mind if one is looking for books, but that won't work. The charm in that room prevents me from entering it. So the library, is it? Kinzo's vast collection of books grows closer each year. The books they don't fit in his study I store in the book storage room that we usually call the library. Of course, there are countless books just in this place. The library has everything from valuable books to apparently worthless books, all placed together like an antique shop. There was a golden glint in the keyhole of the library's door, and a golden butterfly flitted out.
相も変わらずひどい匂いのする部屋よ。ほこり、カビ。なるほど。知識とはこういう匂いなのか。
Well, now, how can I find a book on Taiwan amongst all this? The prospect is almost dizzying. However, I realized right away, if I wanted to quickly find about Taiwanese rivers, I didn't want a book on Taiwan.
地図帳ではないか。そのくらいどこかにありそうであるな。探せ。我が眷属の長たちよ。この誇り臭く誇り高き知識の墓所よりわらわの探す本を探し出せ。
A cloud of countless butterflies appeared at my feet. They swayed, blew like the wind, and coiled themselves around the library. Eventually, the cloud of butterflies selected a single book. It seems that this is the one.
ご苦労であるぞ。世界の地図帳、アジア編であるか。ぴったりであるな。
It was a grand, thick, illustrated encyclopedia of maps, several volumes long. There was even a thick section on Taiwan. It should be plenty useful.
台湾とな。
Trying to think, but
南北 394km、東西 144km、面積約36,000平方キロメートル。ほほう、なかなかに広大であるな。
By area, that's about the same size as Kyushu in Japan. This led Beato to a very natural question.
金蔵はこれほどの広大な島のどこに住んでいたというのか。源氏は台湾とは言ったが、台湾のどことは言わなかったぞ。これは迂闊であった。
Beato had vaguely assumed that the riddle would be solved in a flash if she could just look at a map of Taiwan. However, Taiwan is no small place. Just which part of this large island did Kinzo call his beloved hometown? Kept looking through the books in this dusty library, sometimes having to cough, and I was not happy with being stuck in a place like this.
一番大きな都市は台北か。かつては大正町なるところに日本人たちが住んでいたとの記述もあるぞ。金蔵もやはりここに住んでいたのであろう。いやいや、そう決めつけるのは早計であるぞ。
I'll skip to the next part before I settle anything more specific than just Taiwan itself. Sweetfish River running through the hometown. Was this? There are 129 rivers in Taiwan.
129本？この中のどれだけに鮎が泳いでいたやら、考えただけでもめまいがするわ。
This was quickly becoming ridiculous. Genji must have been muttering nonsense to himself after all. I only thought he was giving out a hint about the epitaph.
黄金に目のくらんだ愚か者への褒美は誇りまみれというわけか。源氏め、やってくれるわ。
I tossed the book aside, used magic to return the bookshelf into a sofa, and plopped down on top of it. For a while, I grumbled about getting tricked and looked up at the ceiling. I was annoyed, so I felt like gathering all this room's dust, packing it into a ball, and tossing it into Genji's teacup. So I glanced down at the floor. The book I had thrown away lay open on the ground. Gold Butterfly was resting on that open page. Tossing a book at random and reading out an oracle from the page it happens to open too is kind of a ritual. I see. So that page might have some sort of hint. Not entirely convinced. I picked up the book up. The open page was probably very near the one I had been reading. Apparently it was a page explaining Taiwan's geography. Oddly enough, it was a page about rivers and lakes.
川が129本あることはすでに承知しておるわ。まだ他にもわらわに伝えたいことがあるというのか?
There were six major rivers listed: Zhuangshui River, Kaoping River, Danshui River, Daji River, Zhengguan River, Da River.
ほう、さて、これらの川には鮎は住めたのか否か。
An idea came to me then. Sweetfish are freshwater fish, and you don't find ocean water in rivers. Unless it's extremely dirty or blocked by a dam, any river might have sweetfish in it.
バカらしい。川ならどこだって淡水だ。鮎の住めぬ道理はないわ。そう考えれば、この淡水がなる川のバカらしいことよ。川に淡水が流れるのは当然であろうが。淡水以外が流れて初めてそれを川の名にすればよかろうに。
Danshui River flows from the Taipei to the harboring town of Danshui. I see it isn't called that because of the water in it, but because of the town at its mouth. As you travel down the river, you will see a village. That village look for the shore the two will tell you of. I realize that this is stupid, yet there's something about this town. Behold the Sweetfish River running through my beloved hometown. The line should have been talking about one of the 129 rivers. Sweetfish are freshwater fish. And here's this freshwater river flowing down to a town called Freshwater. It's like a strange, trivial word game. Could be some kind of code. I've been looking for books here for so long that the dust is piling up on me. If I give up now, it will all be a waste of time. Very well. Why don't I test my luck and see if the random page the book opened to contains an oracle. I turn to the next page, trying to search in even greater detail.
この謎解きは遊びのつもりでした。そして使用人たちはみんなこの謎解きゲームに夢中でした。私も そのうちの一人に加わるだけのつもりでした。熱中できる読み物を久しく失い、退屈していた私はその本を自室に持ち帰り、毎晩眺めました。
地図帳に碑文の謎のヒントが。
第3のゲームでエヴァは書庫で何かの本を調べて謎を解いた。そして第5のゲームでフルドエリカは謎を解くために書庫で求めた本は地図帳だった。
ではやはり台湾の地図に何か秘密が。
I want to pull up Google Earth, but
淡水河を暗示していると信じました。地図で淡水河を毎日たどり、地形を細かく調べました。もちろん鮎の泳ぎそうな小さな渓流もいくつも調べました。でも何も分かりませんでした。
過去のゲームでの情報によるなら、それは川じゃない。だが流れるものだ。エヴァはそう読み解いた。
川ではない。
はい、結論から言えば淡水河とは無関係でした。しかしやはり今にして思えばあれは信託だったのです。淡水河自体は無関係でしたが、それはやはり大きなヒントになったのです。
川は無関係なのにヒントにはなると。
落ち着いて考えろ。川でなく流れるものを考えるんだ。
つまり水以外が流れる何か。
何が思いつく？
A road?
発想を柔軟にしろ。
ウィル、謎かけごっこはもううんざりしてるわ。じらさないで教えちゃいなさいよ。あなたは解けたんでしょ、碑文。
おそらくな。
水以外で流れるも
の。Road, blood, family line.
もの？物流？例えば街道とか道路とか。
正解です。鮎の皮が川そのものを刺さないことに気づくのに私は膨大な時間をかけました。
そうだ、淡水の名がつく川以外のものがある。それは物や人が流れ、上りも下りもあ
る。上り下り、まさか。
そうだ、鉄道だ。
Railroads. The Dansui line. It's a railway that goes from Taipei to Dansui Harbor. It was constructed in 1901 when Taiwan was under Japanese rule. Afterwards, the number of stations continued to grow and it became a major artery into Taipei. This railroad was used after the war as well and is still common use as the Dansui line of the Taipei Rapid Transit System. Its route begins at Taipei Station and continues on until the town of Dansui. Taipei Station, Chang'an Station, formerly Taishogai Station, Shuanglian Station, Tatsui Company Station, Yushan Station, Jiantan Station, formerly Miyanoshita Station. Shiding Station, Shipai, formerly.
碑文には川を下ればやがて何があると？
The two speak of the shore.
里があると。
淡水線の駅の中で里の名を持つ駅はこの赤廃駅しかない。
Oh my god, this is so...
これは何と読むんでしょう？
I don't
キリ
know.
ガン駅と読む。
キリガン。
戦後赤廃駅。
赤廃。
金蔵が住んでいた当時はキリガン駅だった。
キリ to cut.
やがて里あり。その里にて二人が口にし岸を探れ。
里だけじゃなく岸まであるわね、その駅の名前。
果たしてその駅を示しているのか、短くない時間を悩みました。里という文字と岸という文字、なんとなく謎々の文字遊びのように感じていました。
このキリガンの一文字目の口辺の漢字、口の脇にあるこれはそのと読みますよね。口西で口の文字もあるし。でも二人が口西の意味がわからない。
The three characters of Kirigan can be split into mouth, that, a village, and a shore. Those are all the words that appear in the epitaph. In that village, look for the shore the two will tell you of. You can read it as a code for the name of the station. However, I don't understand the part about the two.
私もそこに引っかかりました。しかし、きっとこれを指し示すに違いないという強い信念がありました。
この駅名が旧名であるように、この地名も何か旧名があるのでは。
そうだ。もともとキリガン駅は地名から名付けられたものだ。そして地名のキリガンは駅名と違いこう書く。
I have no idea.
口が2つ。
調べればすぐにわかることでした。やはり碑文はこのキリガンのことを指し示していたのです。
ではここに黄金鏡の鍵が眠っていると。
普通に考えればそうなります。しかし台湾まではるばる行けるわけもなく、当然キリガンと呼ばれる土地も広大です。そのどこに小さな鍵が隠されているのかわかるはずもない。途方に暮れました。
しかしお前は諦めなかったな。
碑文の少なくとも最初の5行については確実に答えを手に入れたと確信していましたから、私にとってこれはもう何よりも面白いゲーム、いえミステリーでした。
I almost gave up then. However, there was no doubt that I had the key in my hand, so I decided to travel to the Golden Land in accordance with the epitaph.
第一の晩に鍵の選びし6人を生贄に捧げよ。
この一文を見てわかることは、鍵とはすなわち6つの何かを示せるということだ。その時点で錠前に指す言葉通りの鍵ではないことが推理可能だ。
6つの何か。
はい、6つの何。私も頭が固い人間でしたから、とにかく6に関わる何かがないかと本を読み漁りました。6キリガンという鍵のありかは言葉遊びによって隠されていました。ならばきっとこの6もまた言葉遊びに関わるに違いない。6探しました。6を。
このキリガンという文字が6つに分解できるとか。
いい推理だ。しかしこの3つの漢字といくらにらめっこしても答えは出ない。
キリガン。
そもそもキリガンなんて読み方自体日本語読みだ。
では現地では何と。
キリアン。
チーリアン。
チリアン。Oh! Wait. So I was right.
英語だと6文字。
Or was I? I remember like some
6文字。じゃあやはりこれは言葉遊び。
第一の晩に鍵の選びし6文字を生贄に捧げようってわけだ。
So I write in English to get Killian.
なるほど。
Talking about this, it sounds a little line of reasoning that can be reached in a second. However, it took long time before I reached this spot on my own. A dizzying number of nights passed from the time Genji uttered that single word to the time I got this far.
ではこの6文字を生贄に捧げるとは一体どういう意味でしょう。
続く第2の晩以降は残されし者で話が進んでいく。何かの文字列から鍵の6文字を間引き、残った文字でどうこうしろと言っていることが推理できる。
しかし何から6文字を間引くのか、それにも長く悩みました。ここからはもはや新しい謎。誰の助けもなく、今度こそ自分の力だけで解かねばなりませんでした。
過去のゲームの中で第一の晩について何か仮説を立てていたような気がします。
第10の晩の黄金の里に注目した推理だな。碑文の中には他に4度も黄金鏡という単語が登場するのに、なぜかこれ一つだけが黄金の里と記されている。
なぜ第10の番だけ黄金の里なのか、これに気づくのにも。そして
ローザの推理はこうだった。黄金の里を京と読み、京都の京と読み解いた。そして懐かしき故郷から京都まで
So there was the plaque.
旅路を10分の1した視点に何か秘密があると。
So there was some sort of like plaque on the church, on the chapel, and so you extract those Killian from the plaque. Was it written in English? I think it was, right, in the second game I was talking about earlier. I don't remember what was written. Quadrillion, was it, or something along those lines? I think it was quadrillion. Oh, I'm so fucking smart, dude. Oh man, okay. Yeah, it's definitely on the church, dude. It was definitely written quadrillion or something along those lines. I fucking remember that shit, dude. Oh.
難しく考えるな。そのままだ。
今日です。
I had no idea about Taiwan though.
いえ、今日ではなく、
yeah, this
K と読みましょうか。数字の単位です。
Starting Twilight number 10.
1、10、100、1000、万、億、兆。K。数字の単位。私の場合は、この六軒島にいるという地の利がありましたから、K を思い当たるヒントはあったのです。私の場合は、先に答えが分かってから、逆に問題の意味が分かったという感じでした。
ややこしいことを言うとリオンが混乱する。話を戻そう。第10の番に一景に至るならば、第1の番はいくつになる？
一景の10分の1ですから。
Quadrillion。
船長。
正解だ。船長から鍵の選びし6文字を間引くんだ。
チーリーアンが英語である以上、船長も英語であろうとはすぐに察しました。
10 quadrillion, oh.
船長は英語ではクワドリリオン。第5のゲームでのバトラの推理通り11文字だ。
Was it? I don't remember. Was it the second or the fifth game? Oh man, I'm now losing my mind.
これはあんたの推理だったか。
くしくも6文字の鍵の冒頭も9。きっとこれに違いないと直感しました。
Leon took a notepad from the pocket and spelled quadrillion and Killian. The two words even looked as similar at a glance. Then take out the Q. What?
確かにクワドリリオンの中には鍵が示す6文字が確かに含まれています。
Wait, just a second. Let me see if I'm... So only one L. So take out... Done. 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 Is this correct? You get UDRLO. Base. Well, what does that mean? I want to solve it for myself, but I think they're gonna do it. We're left with 5 meaningless letters. However, the important thing is the number 5. After all, in the next part of the epitaph, the word kill appears 5 times. Then on the ninth twilight, none shall be left alive. In other words, there should be 5 letters left.
しかもこの5文字は第5のゲームでのバトラさんの推理通り寄り添っている文字があります。 D と R です。
DR。
これが寄り添い師2人に違いない。
ここまで来ればもはや謎はほとんど解けたも同然。
逆に言えば碑文だけで解ける謎はここまでだ。この後言葉遊びを続けても答えはわかるかもしれねえが仕掛けは開かない。
To the device。
ここまでがわかればあとはそれに従いえぐりて殺すのみです。
お前はその場所の心当たりの方が先だったわけだな。
はい、もともと碑文が現れるより以前からそこに黄金が隠されているのではないかと疑われていました。そしてそこに謎めいた一文があればきっと何か秘密が隠されているに違いないと思うのは当然のこと。
その場所とは
黄金鏡の入り口を開ける仕掛けの場所だ。勘のいいやつなら鍵の選び師6人を生贄に捧げる第一の番がどこのことかもう察してるはずだ。
え、それは船長のことであって場所のことではないのでは。
船長と記された場所だ。お前は知ってるはずだが、それともクソ真面目に金蔵の言いつけを守り近寄らなかったから知らないというのか。
Bert Castell is looking. The date the witch revived.
第9章魔女のよみがえる日。
Quadrillion. There's only one place you'll find that word in Rokkenjima. Yes, dude. Gold butterflies flitted from shadow to shadow, dodging raindrops. I fucking remember this.
わらわの記憶が間違っていなければ、確かここで見た覚えがある。
It was the chapel, the mysterious building on the oldest on Rokkenjima, which had been built at the same time as the mansion. It was called the chapel, but not once had Kinzo used it for worship. The members of the family had never been allowed inside. There are strict orders that no one approach it without reason, and its purpose has always been a mystery. However, all these mysteries got boring after several decades. At some point, everyone forgot the chapel even existed. That splendid building passed from the thoughts of Rokkenjima's residents. Of course, this has been true for Beato as well. Beato had hated boredom and no desire to approach places that humans never went. Her last memory was of the time she went in there to taunt Shannon as she tried to clean.
間違いない。あれであるな。クワドリリオン。
Beato looked up and above the door of the chapel. There was a relief displayed over an arch. English words were written there.
お前は1000兆分の1の確率でしか祝福されない。あの謎を解ける者が現れる確率を、そなたは1000兆という名の奇跡に見立てたのか。
This chapel was built long ago. There was a device like the one I imagine. Kinzo must have prepared that epitaph riddle many decades ago. He must have been planning to use it as a ceremony for choosing a fitting successor all this time. However, the ceremony is not a ceremony to open the door to the Golden Land and to my resurrection. When I snapped my fingers, the ground bulged and several snake-like dead trees sprouted up. They twisted around each other to form a ladder, which leaned itself against the door.
わらわの想像通りならば、あのレリーフが仕掛けだ。
I slowly climbed the ladder. Because of the size of the door, the relief was very high up. This close up, it looks much bigger than it did from the ground.
そういえば、礼拝堂を大掃除するとき、あの源氏がわざわざこのレリーフだけは 自らの手で磨いていたな。
So, you're going to just switch the letters maybe? Or something among those... Oh, no way, dude.
なぜ若い使用人に任せぬのかと不思議に思っていたものだが。
I thought it strange, but nothing more. The master treasured this relief, so the head servant cared for it himself. I always accepted that excuse. It was not to trigger the machine or the mechanism, I guess, maybe behind it. The device, I guess. But now I understand. There must be something in this relief. Genji polished it himself to make sure that no one else accidentally found out.
このクワドリリオンから鍵の選びし6文字を生贄に捧げるということか。
The tips of my fingers touched the Q. My fingertips were soon covered with dust. I quickly realized there was something strange about it.
この文字、まさか、いや、そうでなくてはならん。でなくては生贄に捧げられぬからな。
Beato grabbed the letter Q, and after lightly playing around with it in various ways, she pulled it out with a slight clunk.
やはり。
Here's the Q I pulled out. And this part's a wedge. No, it's a key. A key was attached to the back of the Q and had been stuck into a keyhole in the relief.
そういうことか。ならば、あとはわかるぞ。よしよし。この Q の鍵は違う。お前は外れだ。
Beato carelessly tossed the Q key aside. This was the first sacrifice. She kept on pulling out the keys for the 6 letters representing the key.
A も生贄であるな。そして I も2つ生贄だ。最後の N も生贄か。
And the L.
L は1文字を生贄であるが、困ったぞ。L は2つあるではないか。
There are 2 L's. I didn't know which I should sacrifice. I tried pulling both out, but the keys were different shapes. So 1 is the right answer, and 1 is the wrong answer.
どうせ2通りしかない。誤りだったらもう片方を試せばいいだけのこと。
Less messing up sets of a different trap that blows up the island, of course. Thinking it was a waste of time to sit here worrying, I decided to the rightmost L and pull it out. 5 letters remain in the word.
これにて第1の番は終了だ。
6 sacrifices. The 2 sacrifices. On the second twilight, those who remain shall tear apart the 2 who are close.
D と R が寄り添っているな。これを引き裂くとはいかに。抜けばよいのか。
But if I do, there will only be 3 letters left. By this point, I was able to make a good guess at what the gouge and kill lines meant.
えぐりて殺せはおそらく鍵をひねって回してから引き抜けとなれば、頭から足はおそらく左の文字鍵から右へ順にそれを行えという意味に違いあるまい。
DR. Oh. There, if that's the case, there must be 5 characters left on the board. In other words, tear them apart doesn't mean kill.
それで引き裂けと考えた場合、この D と R、2字の間隔を空けよと読み取れるな。しかし、どうやる？またしてもやり方は2通りであるぞ。
Do I remove the D and move it to the left? Do I remove the R and move it to the right? After pondering for some time, I realized that both choices were wrong.
違う。そうではないのだ。さっきの L から間違っていた。
A short while ago, I removed the right of the 2 L's. However, if I remove the left one, it will look like this. If you line it up this way, it's easy to see the next step. The R gets shifted to the right. This way, all the letters are spread out evenly. This must be it.
そして次がまた難題であるぞ。我が名を称えよとな。
Sorry. It's already clear that this is a word game. Those who remain shall praise my noble name. Just what are the remaining 5 letters supposed to do? Probably change their order to form a word.
U, D, R, L, O. この5文字をどうにかすると何かの意味になるということか。
Praise my name.
ここまで来てわけのわからぬ謎をこの5文字でどう我が名とやらを称えろというのか。
Oh. That man's name is Ushirmiya Kinzo. Is the U part of the Ushirmiya? No, several letters don't match, and there are enough letters to make the Ushirmiya.
我が名とは金蔵を指すことだけは間違いない。ならばやはり U は後ろ宮を指すのか。イニシャルであるとか。ならば D、R、L、O は何を意味する。金蔵も意味せん。RO でまさか六軒島を。六軒島の主金蔵。字数がまるで足らぬ。
This riddle left me totally confused. However, there are only 5 letters left. There can't be too many possible combinations of those letters. Could use process of elimination. Thinking to play along with it, I pulled out the U. There are 4 letters left. D-R-L-O. My idea that the U stood for Shurmiya was like a heavenly oracle. When I removed the U, I thought of making a world with the remaining 4 letters. Lord. Those 4 letters spun around in my head, changing their orders, and lashed up a single English word that would serve to praise Kinzo, Lord Kinzo. I had absolutely no basis for it. However, it seemed it was like a flash of inspiration. I quickly changed the letters around before that flash faded from my mind.
L-O-R-D
Lord U. Lord Ushirmiya.
後ろ宮教どうか第4の番に頭をえぐりって。
Gouge the head. It was a key, so it wouldn't have turned if that was the wrong one. But it did turn. I managed to gorge it. I gorged the first letter, the L, with a click, and then pulled it out.
次、第5の番、胸をえぐりて殺せ。
The O was gouged and pulled out easily. Then the R, then the D, and finally the U. When I turned the key of the U, I could feel a resistance as though some device has been activated. Oh, this is so cool! I waited for something to change, but nothing did. I felt something happen. Secret door must have opened up somewhere around here. Waiting around won't accomplish anything. I've probably done everything I can here. All the letters in the quadrillion have been removed.
第9の番に魔女は蘇り、誰も生き残れはしない。
So this way, as the witch, have I revived. The 10th twilight. At the journey's end, you shall attain the power of the Golden Land's treasures once and for the last time. When I stepped down the ladder and looked around, I immediately noticed a small change.
ライオンの像が。
Oh, it's a statue. Oh, this is like Indiana Jones then. At some point, the lion statue in front of the chapel had turned to face a different direction. How did that work? The kings planned up this extravagant device back when he was first building this island. I walked up to the lion statue and stared at it. Other than the fact that it was pointing a different direction, nothing had changed. In that case, is the lion looking at something in particular now? Followed the line of sight and saw another lion statue. That lion statue had also changed its direction. Oh my god, oh, I was not expecting that jump scare.
ライオンの道案内に従えということか。金蔵め、凝った仕掛けを作りおる。
I wasn't complaining anymore. I felt a bit of respect and awe at Kingzo for setting up such an intricate device and having it go undiscovered for all these years. There were lion statues standing like guardian deities at the entrance and corners of the chapel. The direction they faced had changed, pointing around to the back of the chapel. There was something there. It was no longer a surprise. This was after the contraption with the letters, after being guided by the lions. So when good gaping open secret passage opened, with stairs leading down to the darkness below, it wasn't surprising to me anymore.
これが黄金鏡への入り口だというのか。金蔵。
見つけたんですか、おじい様の黄金を。
はい、長い長い時間をかけてたどり着いた黄金鏡でした。
過去のゲームによるならば、そこには地下の貴賓室があり、そして10トンの黄金が。
はい、地下への武骨な階段を降りていくと、突き当たりには扉が。中はまさに貴賓室と呼ぶべき美しき内装でした。
見つけたのは黄金だけだったのか。
はい、その時は積み上げられた黄金に目がくらまぬわけもありませんでした。
So this is the military base. Then who constructed the VIP room?
これは本物なのか。
I lightly touched the pile of gold with my finger. It was hard and cold. I must have imagined that it would crumble like sandcastle if I touched it. Now there could be no doubt. It certainly was a 10-ton pile of gold ingots. Considering the amount of gold that I had just found, I figured it ought to be crying out in delight. I didn't really feel like laughing, but I thought it was a good manners to do so in a situation like this, so I forced it out. Because of this, only a few feeble laughs slipped from my mouth. At that moment, even stronger than any delight, was a feeling I thought I entered a place I wasn't supposed to be. Couldn't think of what I should do next now that the Epitaph riddle had been completed. Then I heard approaching footsteps. It was coming from the stairway I had entered by. Someone was coming. Could it be Kinzo? If he finds out I've been in a place like this, will I get scolded harshly? I thought about hiding and forget this ever happened, but my legs wouldn't move. Kept standing there stunned in front of the pile of gold as the footsteps drew closer and closer. The door opened and I saw who it was. Who is? Is Genji? It wasn't Kinzo.
そなたは
自分の力だけでたどり着いたのか。
うん。
For some time, Genji stared at Beato in silence, as though he was calculating something. Then he slowly clapped his hands together. He did it again, over and over. It took quite a long time before I realized that he was applauding me.
親方様は碑文を最初に解いた者に 黄金と家督のすべてを譲り渡すとおっしゃられた。そしてその人物がベアトリーチェであると信じた。
ベアトリーチェ、私が。
これは運命だ。お前は今日を迎えるのが運命だったのだ。
I didn't really understand what Genji was saying. Surely the shock of seeing the gold still had me paralyzed.
こっちへ来なさい。
はい。
Genji opened a closet. Inside it was a torso wearing a beautiful dress made of black cloth and golden stitching. When I saw it, I understood immediately. It was the witch's dress, the black dress worn by the Beatrice in the portrait.
これに着替えなさい。
これは？
かつてお前が着ていたものだ。
I've never worn a dress like this. However, I understood what Genji meant. This dress was one that Beatrice once wore. The one who displays a miracle by solving the epitaph is Beatrice. By reaching this room, I succeeded the position of the real Beatrice, the one in the portrait. Why do I call myself Beatrice? Because the name of the golden witch who rules over Rokkenjima's night is Beatrice. That's right. I wasn't a real Beatrice. I was a different witch, stealing the name of the witch from Kinzo's delusions. And now I have succeeded the real Beatrice. By solving the epitaph's riddle, my resurrection will be complete. I was the one who decided on that rule. However, this really was a ceremony to resurrect Beatrice. In the past, I believed that I could create my own fate with my magic. How ironic that one could control magic at will, would be guided by fate to this place. In that moment, I have no choice but to truly accept and believe in this word called fate.
これを着たら？
親方様のところへ行く。支度をしなさい。
Please don't do it, Kinzo.
ここで待て。
はい。
親方様、源氏でございます。
As Genji knocked, the sound of the study door unlocking could be heard. After a single glance telling me to wait, Genji entered alone.
このような日が来るとは、運命とは本当に不思議なものです。
Kumasa was with us too. I thought this dress, which really didn't suit me, would lead to a lot of jokes. She didn't laugh at me at all. On the contrary, when she saw me, her expression had turned stern, as though long awaited day had finally come. So she knew. My heart raced. Supposedly anyone should have been able to solve the epitaph. There shouldn't be anything strange about me solving it. Genji and the others kept wearing serious expressions, and that, along with everything else, made this feel like some sort of grand ceremony. Suffocating silence continued. Eventually the door opened and Genji peeked out.
お入りください。ベアトリーチェ様。
He was saying those words to me, but not to the person I had been until a short while ago.
さあ、どうぞ、ベアトリーチェ様。
Kumasa also urged me for a respectful bow. Kinzo was probably waiting for me inside. What expression should I wear as I go in? How should I go greet him? I don't have a clue. As the two of them motioned me forward, it was all I could do to avoid tripping over my dress as I walked.
金蔵さん、いらっしゃいましたぞ。
Kinzo was crouched on the ground as though kneeling before the portrait of Beatrice. And not just words, he slowly turned, still crouching. Kinzo's eyes were already red with crying. When he saw me, he groaned in wonder. Had he forgotten how to stand up? He crawled over to where I was, while calling out to me with the name of the woman he had loved long ago. I was too stunned to move. Kinzo grabbed the hem of my dress, gripped it tightly, then curled up and sobbed.
すまなかった、すまなかった。お前の心は分かっていたのに、私は何という。すまなかった。許しておくれ。許しておくれ。
Don't treat her like your daughter. She's already dead. Treat her like the granddaughter. Oh, she's another daughter, dude. Oh no. But treat her like your granddaughter instead. She's another person entirely. The words weren't directed at me. However, just standing here like this was all I needed to do. King's moment of atonement, the moment he had spent half his life searching for, had finally come. A human's life is stained with sin. So, human seeks forgiveness while they're still alive. However, in most cases, the person capable of granting such forgiveness is no longer in this earth. It was like that for Kinzo too. The one he sought no longer existed in this world. Instead, the forgiveness had been woven together by a miracle, and now Kinzo had received it.
Beatrice! ベアトリーチェ、たとえ許してくれなくてもいい、何も言わなくてもいい。私はお前にただ一言謝れればそれでよかった。
Kinzo kept grasping the... He's gonna die here? When did he die? He died some... Kinzo kept grasping the dressed hem and sobbing. The sins of humans are not forgiven from without. Forgiveness is found through regret and repentance. I want to believe that some sin, some fault of his, has been forgiven thanks to the way I look. Kinzo's sobbing gradually ceased, and he slowly looked up to me and rose. He looked unsteady. Nanji rose forward to support him.
よくぞ生きていてくれた。嬉しい。
This time, these words weren't directed through me, but at me. I hesitated, unsure how I should respond.
今日まで親方様に内密にしておりましたことを、どうかお許しください。
よいのだ源氏。私の犯した罪を思えば、今日までの日々はすべて贖罪のために必要な日々であったのだ。
しかし、今日の奇跡は紛れもなく、本物の奇跡でございます。彼女は誰の助けもなく、自分だけの力で、誰よりも最初に碑文を解いたのです。
よくぞ、あの難解な碑文を解けたな。
はい。
母の声によく似ておる。面影も母や娘を思い出す。紛れもなくお前にはベアトリーチェの血が流れておる。
はい、若き日のクアドリアンのお嬢様の面影がよく残っております。
I don't think she likes all of this. Does my face look like someone else's?
ベアトリーチェ様、これまであなたにも秘密にしてきたことをどうかお許しください。あなたはベアトリーチェ様と親方様よりお生まれになったのです。
真実でございます。あなた様は今日まで両親のいない子として育てられてまいりました。しかし本当のお父上は親方様、そして本当のお母上はベアトリーチェ様なのでございます。
How can you love Battler now? Is the problem.
それは
When you have siblings. No. When she's like half your aunt.
はい、あなたは本当にベアトリーチェ様のご子孫でございます。
Such a strange fate, really possible? I've dreamed about it. Dreamed about what I'd be like to be the Golden Witch Beatrice. That dream had been mine alone. I dreamed that if I solved the epitaph and carried out its ceremony, I would revive as the true Beatrice. So is it okay to believe? Since I've solved it, Beatrice has really revived?
私が本当にベアトリーチェの血を
はい、一切の紛れはございません。
今日まで親子の愛情も知らず、さぞやおつらい思いをされてきたでしょう。にもかかわらず本当にご立派に育たれました。
皆さんは知ってたんですか、私のことを。
Genji, Kumasawa, and even Nanjo nodded wordlessly. Now that I think about it, there maybe have been lots of hints. I always felt as though there was something special about me. Genji, and especially Kumasawa, always treated me very kindly. Then, does that mean this day is a promised day, which would eventually have come no matter what? I don't understand anything anymore. It's our miracle from God. I promised fate that had led me to this day.
ベアトリーチェ、いや、リオン。そなたに与えようと思っていた名前だ。
あなたの本当の名前でございます。
リオン、今こそそなたにベアトリーチェより与えられたすべてを返そう。あの黄金もそれによって生み出された後ろ宮家のすべてもそなたに返そう。
Kinzo stuck out a hand that looked like a rotting tree. On his finger was a ring with the one-winged eagle crest, the symbol of the Ushimiya family had. He pulled it off, grasped it tightly, then held it out to me. I didn't know what to do. Slowly, as though they were being drawn forwards, I held out my hand, palms up. After pressing his fists against my cupped hands, Kinzo slowly opened his hand and let the ring drop.
我が子、リオンよ。今日までお前の運命をもてあそんだのは許しておくれ。そなたは今や我が指輪を受け継ぎ、正しく新しい後ろ宮家の当主である。あの黄金はすべてそなたのもの。好きに使い、今日までの日々の辛き思い出をわずかでも癒すがいい。あの程度の黄金、私の犯した罪には到底及びはせぬが、それでもそなたを慰めるくらいはできるはずだ。
ありがとうございます。
リオン、最後に一つだけ頼みがある。
何でしょうか。
私を呼んでくれぬか。
え、すみません。今なんと。
Father?
お父様と呼んでくれぬか。呼べぬ気持ちはわかる。私はそなたに何も父らしいことをしなかった。そしてそなたもまた父など知らずに育った。とても口にできる言葉ではないと分かっている。そしてそれを求める資格が私にないことも分かっている。だがそれを承知で頼む。それさえ聞けたならもう私に何の未練もない。
After being asked like that, could I possibly have refused? Even if I am his child, I truly cannot acknowledge him as a father. So it felt very strange to say it. Yet I decided saying it was the right thing to do. Only God can truly forgive sins, but though it may be temporary, people can be saved by the forgiveness of others. The awkward word made Kinzo laugh. Drops of silver fell from both his eyes, and at that moment the shadow that covered his face was wiped away.
ありがとう、リオ、我が子よ。そしてベアトリーチェ、最後に許しを請う機会を与えてくれてありがとう。もちろんこれしきで許されたとは思いません。続きは地獄の豪華で焼かれながらとしようではないか。後ろ宮金蔵、我が生に一切の未練なし。 もはや何もなし。心残りもやり残しも何もなし。うわは
How about the other family, dude? Come on. Looking up to the heavens, Kinsel spread his arms as though facing an applauding audience, laughing at the top of his lungs. It was a final pleasure known only by those who have been released from all the regrets of this world. Kinsel's laugh weakened, and when it disappeared, he dropped to his knees like a puppet with his strings cut off, and slowly fell to the ground, dead. Oh, dude.
親方様。
南條先生。
Though their master had fallen, they walked up to him slowly. They already knew. Kinsel's soul had already burned itself out. After checking Kinsel's pulse, Nanjo shook his head and stood back up.
大往生だ。何の心残りもないだろ
う。親方様は、あるいはもうずっと以前にお亡くなりになっていたのです。それを親方様の魔法と執念で今日までを流らえていたに過ぎないのです。そしてベアトリーチェ様に謝罪する機会をようやく得て全てを終えられたのでしょう。
安らかにお眠りください。あなたは罪を償われたと信じます。
お父様。
That was the one night reunion between me and my father, and also our final farewell. Oh, I'm burned out. I'm spent.
この黄金はすべてあなたのものです。現金化をご希望でしたら、そのように手配することもできます。
How did she become a servant again?
の価値があるそうです。もうあんたにはこの世で金で叶えられぬ夢はありませんな。
急にこんな大金が手に入っても使い道に困ってしまいますね。
お金で手に入れられるものの中に私の欲しいものはありません。ですからこれは当分はそのままにしておこうと思います。
Of course, I'm glad I have a lot of money. However, money can't heal the pain in my heart. I just want him to come back.
かしこまりました。では、そのようにいたします。それから、この鍵を。
これは？
この地下貴賓室へ至る鍵です。これを使えば、もう仕掛けを使う必要はありません。
She was the only one who knew the answer to the FS riddle, and the only key to this place was now hers. At this point, she truly was the master of this golden VIP room.
あなたはもはや、このロッケン島の主です。この島のすべての秘密をお知りになられる資格があります。
クワドリアンのことも話すべきでしょうな。
あなたのお母上がお過ごしになられた隠し館です。お噂くらいはお聞きになったことがあるでしょう。
クワドリアン。
この島の両端には2つの屋敷があります。一方は私たちのよく知るお屋敷、もう一方はクワドリアンと呼ばれる隠し屋敷でございます。
この島の地下には戦争中に作られた基地の跡があるのです。親方様はそれを利用されて島の両端を行き来されておりました。
この部屋の奥に地下道があり、それを進めば島の反対側のクワドリアンの地下につながります。親方様しかご存知でない秘密の屋敷です。もちろんその屋敷ももはや新しき当主のものです。
あんたのお母さんが暮らしていた屋敷だ。一度行ってみるのもいいだろう。
私のお母さん。
I've lived alone my whole life. The only person I've ever felt like calling mother is Kumasawa-san, who always helped me out. There's a mention whether my mother I never met or seen lived. Who exactly am I?
何でもお尋ねください。今のあなたには全てを知る資格がございます。
今は何が何だかわからなくて、何から聞けばいいかもわかりません。でもきっとたくさん聞きたいことがこれから見つかると思います。その時教えてください。
かしこまりました。
あと、そんなにかしこまられると居心地が悪いです。これまでと同じ口調で話しかけてくれた方が嬉しいです。
それをお望みでしたらそのようにもいたします。
私もその方が気楽です。
さて、これからどうするんだ、源氏さん。金蔵さんは亡くなった。
旦那様と奥様にお亡くなりになられたことをお伝えします。そしてリオン様が正式な当主後継者であることをお伝えしなくてはなりません。
She won't do that.
あなたが後ろ宮家当主なのですから。
私が当主なんてそんな。それに
碑文の謎を解いた者が次期当主である。これはお預かりしている遺言状にも明記して親方様の最後の命令があなたに全てを引き継ぐことなのです。
待ってください。お気持ちは嬉しいですが、私には次期当主なんて務まりませんし、そんな退任とてもお引き受けできません。その役目はやはりクラウス様が引き継がれる方がいいと思います。
よろしいのですか。
私は今日ここで自分が誰かを知ることができました。人なら誰でも知っている両親のこと、私にはそれを今日ここで得ることができました。それだけで私は十分なんです。
If I suddenly became the Ushirmiya family head, how would Cross-sama react? How angry would Madden be? I don't want to become the head if it means making them feel like that. They learned who I am, who gave birth to me, how and when. These are things I want to learn from them as time goes by. That alone is enough.
私はリオン、そして黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェです。それが分かっただけで私は十分です。私は当主を主張するつもりはありません。その役目はクラウス様に。
それは後宮家当主としてのご命令ですか。
はい。
かしこまりました、親方様。ではそのようにいたします。
今夜のこともすべて内密にしてください。私はこれからも私のままでいます。私が後宮家の当主になって、あるいは黄金を手に入れてやりたいことなど何もないのですから。
こ
の島でこれまでと同じように待っていたいだけなのです。これまでと同じに。それだけが私の望みです。
かしこまりました親方様。今夜のことはすべてこの場限りの熊沢南條先生、新しき当主様はそうご希望でいらっしゃいます。
あんたがそうしたいというなら私は何の異論もない。金蔵さんの遺言はあんたに全てを委ねるだ。そのあんたがそれを望むなら私たちには何の文句もない。
これまでと同じようにと言いますけれど、本当にこれまでと同じようにこの島で生活を続けられるのですか？これまでと何も変わらず。
はい、今夜のことは秘密にします。ここも黄金も封印します。もしもお金が必要になったらその時改めて相談することにします。私にはそれで十分です。
かしこまりました。ここに至る仕掛けも鍵もすべてあなただけのものでございます。そして今夜のことは 私ども一同秘密にすることを誓います。次期当主はクラウス様となられますが、私の中では真の当主様はあなただけでございます。ご命令に従い、これからもこれまでと同じように振る舞いますが、いつでもご用命ください。私の主はあなただけなのでございます。
Oh, that's so cool.
ありがとうございます。
Genji is a G, dude. A vast mountain of gold, and the ring of the Ushirmiya family head. The dress of the portrait Beatrice, and I became the true Beatrice, the Golden Witch. Right here in my very own golden land. If I think about it, not much has actually changed. After all, I've been always been the Golden Witch. Opa. Oh, opa. Oh. After all, I've always been the Golden Witch. I just had to feel more people acknowledge that. November 29th. Today I became a true witch.
ああ、我こそは我にして我らなり。我は黄金の魔女、ベアトリーチェ。この六軒島の真の支配者にして、無限の黄金の所有者でも何も満たされず、たった一人の思い人が帰ってきてくれる日を待っています。
Oh, I think we're ending here. I think it's already coming to a conclusion, but it's already very late. The witch illusion scatters. Okay. Should I go further? No, I think this is it. Okay. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. It's been very good so far. Episode 7 has been a blast to read through, seeing everything revealed and how the gold was found by Shannon before the events of that killed the family in Rokkenjima. So I think it's maybe 1 or 2 episodes until. Yeah, I feel like that's enough. 1 or 2 episodes left to go to episode 7, and then I will start the last episode, I think. And that'll be it. Thanks for watching, my dudes. And dudettes, I guess. So yeah, thanks for watching.